Hello everyone, welcome to another Wednesday Faction Wars. Today we are going in with, well, I'm not playing just yet, because we're spectating. We have a bye round, as we do have an odd number of players, but turnout is really good for this week's tourney, so we are expecting a lot of fun battles. I did tweak the streaming settings for a bit, so if there's anything weird on the stream, let me know. Yeah. Anyways. Let's let the battle begin. Here we have the first round of combat between, actually I think that's Kurio, right? Yeah, Kurio set up the lobby for us to spectate with Spotify going all melee. Oh no, not all melee, but no caster once again, as expected from the man, the myth, the legend himself. Now, it doesn't always work, but it's always fun to see an army without a caster trying to play rather conventionally and stretch their army's abilities to their max. Anyways, for the army built here, we have the Lizardmen in front line of skink cohorts backed up by more skinks in terms of a javelin throwing. Wait, that's a very green Bastillodon. What color scheme is the subfaction? Is I don't know the subfaction, but that's a very green Bastillodon for sure. And yeah, a Bastillodon with Rev Crystal there to heal up the Court of Hortal, I assume. A Slam Age Priest of Light and Magic. No healing from the Slam Age Priest, so we're making it up with the Rev Crystal then. Slam Age Priest with only Shim's Burning Gaze and double banishment. That's a lot of AoE damage. And of course, Blood Statuette of Spite. Other than that, we have the Hamaxon Barbs. We rarely see these Regiment of Renown Razordawn hunting packs, because they're short range and a weird line of sight means that weird trajectory means that not weird, but like a very low and not really arcing trajectory means that they have a hard time finding good line of sight towards the enemy, and it's just really awkward to get them to fire. But when they do fire, they absolutely shred through anything. Other than that, Feroco ones on the flanks and a Court of Sotek. As a bit of Regiment of Renown, Unbreakable requested for Spotify's non-caster army. Ooh, that Luthor Harkon already getting counter-sniped. We have Scurvy Dogs in the front line there, Sirens, and a line of Zombies and Gun Crabs. One of them, the Lamprey's Revenge, and a couple Death Gods backing them up. Already, the Gun Crabs are shredding some Skink Skirmishers, but I don't know if that's the most effective use of their ammo, while the Scurvy Dogs are jumping onto the Skink Skirmishers and doing some good damage, while Luthor Harkon is counter-shooting the Slam Age Priest with his pistol and a breath attack, but not exactly the greatest damage, as the Slam Age Priest does have missile resistance and ward save with the shield of the old ones. The Scurvy Dogs. These Scurvy Dogs are doing so much work, routing one Skink Skirmishers, chasing down the other, because they have their pursuit behavior kicked in, and like each model would then search for their own enemy to kill, one entity against another entity, and maximizing the damage when you're pursuing fleeing targets. And as a result, the Skink Skirmishers took a massive damage, although the Skink Cohorts are able to screen off the Scurvy Dogs, and now pinning down the Lamprey's Revenge and the Gun Crabs. While over here, it looks like there's a big blob of Zombies and Death Gods piling onto the Court of Portal, doing a lot of damage with Rev Crystal, trying to sustain their HP, while a Banishment ripping through friend and foes, and I think that's actually more friendly damage than anything, going straight through the formations of the poor Skinks, and I mean, they did good damage to the Death Gods and the Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs, but yeah, that's a lot of friendly fire. Anyways, the front line wise, Sirens are pushing through, Gun Crabs are also pushing through, but they are taking a lot of damage from the Javis, while Luthor Harkon trying desperately to hunt down the Slam Age Priest, but at the same time, there is some Court of Sotek and Blow Dart javelins focusing onto him. Court of Hortal, after getting some heals, are charging into the flanks of the Sirens with their magical power fists, absolutely slamming those poor Sirens in melee combat. Although they don't have the best contact yet, so they're not really maximizing the damage. A lot of models are just standing there, not really doing anything. But yeah, you can see the balance of power is already slightly in favor of those Lizard Boys. As Luthor Harkon is taking more and more damage from the Javis from the blow dots, and now even the Court of Sotak are piling in as he tries to snipe the Slime Age Priest of Light Magic in melee. He probably want to stay away and try to win out the other parts of the fights there and help the rest of the units to try and get to the back. But yeah, Razor Dawn hunting packs didn't really highlight them. I need to rewatch this replay then, cause holy shit, they did a lot of value already. Did they shoot at? They were definitely shooting at the crabs and get some pretty good value. Not a whole lot of kills. I wonder if did they get a shot onto Luther Harkon. Luther Harkon does have to go into melee to get his hunger healing, since oh wait, no, he is on the Terra guy, so he should be able to regenerate. So he doesn't have to go into melee. Never mind. But yeah, the Razor Dawn hunting packs do have very decent armor and okay melee stats. Still, they were able to hold on against the Scurvy Dog's attack pretty fine, beating down the Scurvy Dogs themselves, although taking some minor damage. But yeah, overall you can see the push of the Vampire Coast is already losing steam. There's still some very healthy rotting Promethean on the far side there, but yeah, there is more and more resources piling in to pin down Luther Harkon. He needs to get out of there and just sit back and regenerate. But let's see if the Lizardmen will give him such a chance. Although the Death Gods are doing very nice. Just holding on in the front line there. Well, Luther Harkon going back to the skies. Blow dots are coming in his way though, so he might have to be careful there. Yeah. Frontline wise, oh no, the Death Gods are actually losing pretty hard as they did get nuked by those banishment spell, and the Court of Hoto was beating them down as well. Though the Court of Hoto, of course, fighting a halberd infantry is not great for them. Another ref attack, this time onto Skin Court, but doing very poor damage. Probably should have aimed for the Slime Age Priest instead. Right now, the Slime Age Priest is just holding on. He is a fat boy with a lot of HP for a caster, 6,500. So the Slime Age Priests are actually quite tanky, able to hold on with leadership buffs, shoot off the old ones for damage resistance and all that. So yes, Slime Age Priests, despite their lack of melee stats, they're actually fairly survivable, all things considered. But yeah, the Gun Crabs are holding on very key in the late game there, he being a bastion of strength for the Vampire Coast. But oh, those Amazon barbs in this kind of late game will shred through those rotting Prometheans, no questions asked. And yeah, Luther Harkon is still having some trouble trying to desperately to snipe Slime Age Priest. But if anything in 2026 taught me is that sniping the Lord isn't equal to winning the game. As I already tried multiple times sniping the enemy Lord, but still losing my game, as I couldn't deal with the majority of the enemy army. And looks like this will also be the case for the Vampire Coast there. Luther Harkon desperately trying to get rid of the Slime Age Priest, going for the last hurrah. But yeah, that is gonna be it there, as the Vampire Coast army is getting attrition to death. Luther Harkon doesn't have any healing, no magic support, and that might have put them on a major disadvantage there. Let me just quickly go and save that replay. I forgot to save it in the before you go into the post-battle screen. So round 1, Lizardmen versus Vampire Coast. Yeah, that was those Amazon barbs did some pretty good damage. I was surprised. I was very surprised. I need to go back in and see what the fuck did they do, because they didn't get a whole lot of kills, but 2,700 gold worth of damage value against crabs. I assume the crabs did die pretty hard, especially Lamprey's Revenge. I'll go back and check and see what the hell happened there. But yeah, Sirens unfortunately will suffer pretty hard against Lizardman, who does have quite a bit of magic damage from Flock of Dooms, like spells like Flock of Dooms, Banishment, Shim's Renegades, to magic attacks like the Court of Hoto or Star Chamber Guardians and stuff like that. Yeah, they couldn't really hold on, being too fragile of a unit. They can do decent against dinos, I guess, if they get a surround, but the uses for these ladies are still quite limited. Hey Crow, how are you doing? Phoenix King, feels like every time someone tries to snipe a Slan, they end up losing. Yeah, Slan are just fairly way too tanky for a non-monstrous. I mean, they're kind of monstrous, but yeah, non-combat monster cast load. Toad is goat. Toad is goat. But what do you mean Toad is Toad? Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was a fairly strong finish from Lizardman, able to keep the Slime Age Priest alive till the end, despite how hard Luther Harkon was trying to snipe him out. Alright, jump back in and see what happened with the Raise the Dawn hunting packs. But to be fair, Luther has pretty much that task and little else. Yeah. And he still couldn't he still couldn't steal the deal there. As the Slime Age Priest barely denying that last nail in the coffin, standing or sitting valiantly till the end. But yeah, I'm just gonna check the Razor on Hunter Max, who has been just sitting at the back there at the beginning. Not much to do really. But then the Lamprey's Revenge got stuck on Skinks. Oh, and they mowed down these Lamprey's Revenge. As tanky as they are fairly big of a target and very much rely on their armor and their regeneration to stay alive. But those Razor Dawn hunting packs have armor piercing that ignores their armor, and on top of that, have enough burst damage to really do a number on that Regiment of Renown. Oh, and the Razor Dawn hunting packs turn over here to shoot the hell out of Luther Harkon. That actually contributed to a lot of his HP losses in the early game. From 75% HP to less than half from all these blow darts, javelins, and more importantly the Razor Dawn's spikes. And then Shim's Burning Gaze, but that did almost nothing. Never mind. It's mostly the Razor Dawn hunting pack really suppressing the HP of Luther Harkon there. And hence they earn a crap ton of damage value in the early game. And now they're back to shooting at Rotting Prometheans. Again, great targets for these guys due to them bypassing their armor. And they don't have that regeneration like the Lamprey's Revenge either. And you can see being a Regiment of Renown, they have more melee stats and more leadership. So they were able to just hold on and beat the shit out of those Scurvy Dogs with their relying on their armor for protection. Good stuff. Facing hunting packs is where having no caster really hurts. Zombie pistol summons and especially Buna would be really good here. Or Melkoffs from Noctilus. Yeah. Unfortunately, like, as much as I respect your... Oh wait, no. That's this is Korea, not Spotify. As much as I respect their attempt to just go no caster every game, that does put him on a massive disadvantage. Since spell kits are indeed one significant tool for most factions who does have access to Winds of Magic. For those who don't, then well, they kind of suffer from being a non-meta pick most of the time. Not all the time, because we also have the dwarves who doesn't have any magic. Well, runic magic is kind of magic, but yeah, still being very dominant in multiplayer for especially for beginner starting players, newer players. But yeah, we're waiting for round 1 to conclude, and for those who have finished their round 1 games, I would appreciate it if you can send in your replays, and I can cast them while waiting for the last game in round 1 to conclude. Otherwise, we're just gonna wait for Phoenix King and Tank to finish their game. Tank, that's a name I haven't seen in a while. A great player, especially with Vampire Counts, and has been playing since Warhammer 1, if I remember correctly. But Warhammer 1 is... I don't think I started making content in Warhammer 1. I started playing in Warhammer... Oh, yep. Round 1 has concluded, and we are going into round 2. This time, it's our turn to fight Spotify's full non-caster Vampire Coast army. Oh, I was... Wait, no, that's the sort of Kane. We need to get the Car of Silence Fury. No, yep, there we go. We're playing as Chaos Dwarves today, so we are using a Chaos Dwarf. Yeah, we're using a Chaos Dwarf background there. Normally, I love the Vampire Coast one. I don't know why. Maybe it's also because I love their I think I really love their trailer. It's probably the best trailer in my opinion when they probably for the first time matched the gunshots to the beat of the music and actually incorporated those bangs of gunshots into part of their oh wait, not pillar or bone, pillar of bone, into as part of the music as like kind of like drum beats but with guns. So it's really cool. And I still think that's the best trailer in my opinion to this day. Alright, we are fighting against Spotify, so yep, just waiting for them to show up, and we are going Chaos Dwarves right now. Now, Chaos Dwarves, what do we do here? Actually, we're gonna go full melee. I mean, we're gonna go no caster as well, since our opponent is doing that. We shall return in kind. I'm gonna bring a Dreadquake Mortar just because I can. Immortals, and then I need to spend the rest of the money on chaff to protect my precious artillery there. What else? I might need a couple blunderbusses just in case. In case I need to screen gun bats. And actually let's get some sneaky gits to kill infantry. And since we're not getting caster, we have a lot of extra funds. Actually, we can get a couple Inferno Castellan. Let's do that actually. Might as well just grab a couple of these guys as like a single entity. Nah, I need a Bull Center Torok actually. Yeah, let's just grab a Bull Center Torok, which is like a centaur-fied Chaos Dwarf. I don't think we need Guardian. What we need probably is Zata and the Black. We don't really need him on. You know what? We can get an Overseer and just get the Black Gem of Nar. Just cause why the hell not? And then we are out of money. Man, kill stalls are too expensive. Right, so I think that will do. I guess Foe Seeker works, and I don't even know what I'm playing as, but you know, it's a let's not take Immortals. Let's play a little bit more serious here. All right, that, and then just get these to surround the Dreadquake Mortar. Yeah, that'll do. Let's just get ready. 0 funds left over. It's beautiful. And we are on a fairly small map. Saturday faction wars with global bans would be Swiss SFT Saturday faction tournament, or sorry, I'm not quite sure. I think it's Saturday faction tournament, right? But yeah. I have a melee build for that white army. Great fight against Slanesh with Nurgle White. GBs are not here. Oh, global bans? Well, we can't do global bans, right? In faction wars. Alright. Alright, we are going in with a Dreadquake Mortar. We don't have... Wait, I didn't ban Dreadquake Mortar with no train, right? I didn't ban Draconic Water with no train. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Almost thought I broke a rule again because I don't remember the faction limits I set for myself, for everyone, myself. But I think it's fine. We have an Inferno Castellan just here to poke things. Bullseye and Torok and this guy. I mean, technically I have a spellcaster. A couple bound spells. Please forgive me of this travesty, but I think it's justified. It's just a couple bound spells. It's fine, right? All right. Let's go no caster for this game, just because it will be fitting. Alright, we're ready now. We ready. You really just say Chaos Dwarfs are too expensive. Oh, single faction tournament. Yeah. That single faction tournament with global ban. I wonder how that work. Just ban your opponent's factions, right? And they automatically loses that round. Oh, for fuck's sake! We were thinking the same thing. All right, let's rush then. All right, there's nothing to think about. We're both going artillery heavy. Oh no! What have we done? What have we done? Ah! The artillery! Oh, come on. Draconic Water, aren't you firing? Please, just fire. You know, just turn around and shoot these guys. You're gonna die from the artillery anyways. Oh no, they're dodging! I didn't pay attention to... Oh. Alright, let's just push up and... I could have dodged them if I actually pay attention to my micro, but I didn't, so... You know what, whatever. Can you just keep firing, please? I need you to... Alright, just fire at those guys. Come over here and help out. Maybe kill her, if possible. Alright, our backline is secured. The Draconic Water is operational again, but it's just not hitting for shit. You know what? Just kill your own people. It's fine. Just kill things. Alright, we're getting some good damage finally. When they start to hit things. I can turn on the melee immunity. I'm immune to damage now. Alright, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore, so let's just shoot. Oh wow, okay, I forgot about these. I should have sent them over to hunt down the queen, but yeah, I forgot about them for a bit there. Alright, just shoot them. It's fine. They're kind of stuck in melee now, so they can't really dodge. Just hit. Just please, just land a hit or something. Alright, now you guys can go and kill her again. Oh, There. This is where you are. Okay, that's fine. Just stay there. What? Quick Water, can you just for once hit things? What the fuck are you aiming at? Dude, what the fuck? You're not aiming, aren't you? Alright, just fly over and knock that one out while we're at it. It's like, what the fuck are you aiming at? The Dreadquake is just not hitting things. Also, I guess Spotify was pretty on top of dodging, so that helps. Oh, come over and kill them. Oh, fly away! Fly away! Run away! Run away! Oh, yeah, just drop in and route that off while we have that ability. Alright, Aranessa's routed, cause can you shoot at things around you? I totally just ignored my blunderbusses and let them die, so that was not ideal there. Alright, let the Bull Centaur run away while you do the immune thing. Or maybe we don't have to run. Alright, cool. Just keep shooting, I guess. Oh, wow. I didn't realize the Dreadquake Mortar just died that fast to infantry? You have armor, mate. Alright. Queen Bess is dead, but our shooting power is also completely gone. Can you just fire for fuck's sake? You just don't fire, aren't you? Alright, you back in the sky while the Bull Centaur do all the heavy lifting here. Send those infantry to screen and you just run away. Oh yeah, he routed. And I totally forgot about my infantry. Great times. Okay. Just keep shooting, send up some chaff. To try and maybe shoot them at the back or something. I have faith in the blunderbusses. They probably have enough DPS with 24 models to kill these. Yeah, they do have enough DPS to kill things. Yeah, I just don't know how long they can stand there. Oh no, he got stuck. Oh no, he got frostbitten. Oh no. Okay, that's not ideal. And I don't have any things to throw in and say bail him out. Oh, I do. Just run away. Run away. Run away. Yes. Vigor refresh. Run away. I don't know, man. Like, dude is slow. Things are catching up. Okay, we got the Death Guards. They're dead. Death Guard's more like Dead Guard now, huh? But yeah, the rest of our units are just not available. Okay, we can kill this less healthy. We probably can kill this less healthy Mongols with the Bull Centaur. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know, man. Alright, let's just get our units at the back there. Kill these. Alright, time to run. Alright, time to run. You run away. Let them crumble. Wait, what are you doing? Fire! Do as much damage as you can. Everyone else just run. Ah, Wolves and Totoro got caught again. Nope, never mind. Everything dies. No more blunderbusses. The Dreadquake Mortar just doesn't hit for jack shit. The Dreadquake Mortar, it's such a disappointment. Just keep missing. Just kept missing, damn it. Praying to Hashut that these blunderbusses come back. And maybe I can fight them somehow. Yeah, I mean, use them to fight, not fight them, but yeah. Alright, they're back. Alright. Poke them. Just keep poking them. A big alpha strike. Possibly our last attempt to alpha strike things. Oh wow, these guys are dying, and they're dying fast. I can do this! Maybe I can do this! The Bulsen tutorial just needs to hold a little longer. Let the blunderbusses do the job. No, the Bulsen tutorial is falling. He's failing. No, the lines are breaking. So close. I just need a couple more volleys from the blunderbusses, but no. Alright. Throw these guys back in. They're probably gonna die and just instant rout or something. But I need to distract them. I need to distract this Necrofax Colossus long enough for the blunderbusses to stand their ground and fire everything they have. Nope, never mind. That's it. That's our last chance. Nope, that's done. Alright, GG. GG. And that Infernal Castellan standing till the end there. I didn't bring enough guns. I did not. I just needed more guns. And also, more importantly, let me just go back. Give me a second. What the fuck was up with the Dreadquake Mortar? It's just not hitting. Like, it's not even my opponent dodging and whatnot. Like, even when the targets are sitting there, it's just not landing hits. It's just not hitting. God damn it. Yeah, but overall, GG to my opponent there as well. Those Death Gods really did the work there. Avoiding all the volleys from the freaking Dreadquake Mortar. And the Mongols as well, running down my infantry. Hell of a scrap. Some serious artillery fire being laid down, but unfortunately neither side did that much damage overall. Like 1,000 gold worth of damage value on both sides. Serious artillery firepower. But yeah, Dreadquake Mortar, and there you have it. Dreadquake Mortar. What? Oh, it. Damn it. It's just not firing at the right things. Alright, let's see. The first shot, my opponent moved, so kind of like missed most of it. Very nice stuff. But another shot. Missed! Missed! They're standing there. What the fuck, Dreadquake? What the fuck? What the actual fuck? And missed again. If it even landed a single hit on these Death Gods, I would have probably have a pretty good like outcome in this battle. But no, they decided, yeah, and you know what? We're not feeling like hitting the most expensive unit today. We're just gonna hit stuff like zombies and bats. Although to be fair, I did aim at this blob or at that point. But yeah, it's just. Okay, it scratched these Death Gods, but that's about it. Not a single model dead. Right, minor damage, and they can still heal with the hunger. So, yeah. And what was that? What was that? Like, clean miss. A clean miss. If anything, the blunderbusses did more damage to these Death Gods than the freaking Dreadquake. Man, the Dreadquake is hitting everywhere but the target. Exactly. Exactly. And then the Dreadquake, and then the Death God closed in and killed it. Fucking hell, man! Just let it hit. You're the most expensive artillery on the fucking roster. probably the most expensive roster, probably the most expensive artillery, period. But no, we're not gonna hit. Not gonna hit the targets at all. No. Hit the ground. Hit the other target. Hit the other units next to it. Just not your target. No. All right. Let's see. Round two. Two more battles going on, so we might actually do some tournament admin. Give me a second. Alright, download some replays. Give me a second there. But yeah, I just need one hit from the Dreadquake to land on the Death Gods, but no. They denied me from that. RNG was like, nah, I'm not gonna hit. RNG robbery. I suppose I should look at your lack of caster and be like, nah. I feel like this vampire coast is worthy of attention for not using sorcery. But wait, hold on. Hashut is also a sorcery kind of god. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Both the gods of Vampire Coast and the Chaos Doves are like sorcery focused. So yeah, it doesn't make sense. If anything, it's the one who is using the magic, using sorcery should have their blessings. What the hell? But yeah, RNG is funny sometimes. Alright, we got some replays downloaded. I'm just gonna quickly check which one's the shortest that we can slip maybe a replay in before before we go into... Oh wow, what the fuck is this build? Hamster Berserker, that's a... I don't even know if that's a fun build or a funny build. Yeah, this is an interesting build for sure. With Codex here going with Skavens, we have a front line of Plague Monks. Yeah, backed up by a bunch of Wolf Rats and Rat Ogres with some Doom Flayers. These are the regular ones. No, oh, there is one Dwarfing Menace. While we have some Skaven Slaves on the flanks, some Night Runners, pretty standard stuff, leading army a Snitch, so you don't usually see him that much, with a Plague Priest in support, but against Empire, I assume they were expecting guns, so didn't really bring any guns or cannons, so didn't bring any big Plague Furnace that can be targeted, but there are no guns or no cannons specifically. Well, there are a lot of gunpowder, but no guns on the battlefield because Hamster Berserker is going triple mortar wagons. What even the fuck is this? Our front line of spears, just 3 of them because all the rest of the money went into 3 whole Demigryph Knights with halberds. One of them, the Regiment of Renowned World out of Griffites. I don't even know what Hamster Berserker is doing anymore. Like, not only is he bringing in non-meta build, he's bringing a unit that nobody ever brings, the Mortar Wagons. And leading the army is Boris Todbringer here, very good against Skaven, plus an Amber Wizard on a Griffin. Also very nice, just 2 Terror Sources to Terror Bomb the Skaven's Transformation of Cannon. So a third source of terror with the Manticore Summon and Pence Impenetrable Pelt for additional physical resistance and melee defense, I think. Yeah, and yeah, there we have it. A rather, well, bizarre army on the Empire side with Boris just feinting a dive as the mortars are opening up onto the Skaven formations, bombing some of the Night Runners already, but not a whole lot of damage as these mortars don't actually do a whole lot against dense formation, and the slow projectile speed means that they're just constantly missing. Oh no, Boris dived down, but immediately got pinned by a Deathmaster's Sigil. And immediately the Red Ogres, the Wolf Rats, all pounce onto him. And even the Dwarfing Menace as well, just piling onto him, blocking him in with all that mass, and Snitch is in as well, being hit by a shit ton of debuffs and hit by a bunch of armor piercing, and Snitch himself doing some really good damage. I mean, the Plague Monks are getting bombed to shreds by those, bombed to smithereens with the war wagons here, but Boris himself is taking so much damage. I don't even know if he can get out of there and get back to the skies, as the Red Ogres are sticking very close to this guy there. Good thing is the Poison Hounds are done for, but the Demogryph Knights are just too far away to help out. Finally, they're charging into those Plague Monks, but Boris is still getting pushed around by those Red Ogres, by those Dwarfing Menace Doomslayers, while the Royal Otto of Griffites charge in, but they're should be able to do well against Red Ogres, but at the same time, Plague Monks and just Doomslayers, Plague Priests, everything just piling on, and they're taking a lot of damage. Finally, Boris is getting out of there, but the Wolf Rats with Poison also catching up to those Mortars now. Mortars do have 80 armor, but there's so many entities nearby, and they're just not... They just don't have that survivability to stay in combat for too long. And yeah, the bombs are doing... the mortar bombs are doing some work there, but not a whole lot of progress, as some of them are silent, some of them are just missing. And Manticore being dropped to the ground there, but the spears are getting torn through, and Demogryph Knights getting overwhelmed by sheer numbers there, everything piling in and pinning them down. So they're getting tar pitted and unable to do any psycho charging, and are surrounded grind to death by an overwhelming horde of Skavens. And a very unconventional build for sure for the Empire army, but unfortunately that experiment did not pan out well for the brave men of Middenheim. Yeah, I think I'm gonna fast forward here, as the Mortars are getting pushed back, and when they're running around, they can't fire while moving. So yeah, they can't fire while they're too busy moving around. A second Pharaoh Manticore summoned, but I don't think that's gonna matter here. War Wagon Mortars are yeah, just getting chased all over the place, and Boris is nowhere to be found. He actually route off the map. Oh wow. And that's gonna be GG there. Very interesting army, but unfortunately just not exactly Mortars and Outriders are super toxic kite build. It can be for sure, but just 3 mortars and against an army with a bunch of hounds, Wolf Rats more specifically, it's just not gonna pan out too well there. There's too many mobility, too many units, and they don't have enough damage output to blow up everything before they get caught and ran over. So yeah, GG to both players here, and we shall delete this one then. And looks like my next opponent is ready. Let me just go in and check. Yeah, we are in round 3 now. We're going up against Milky Way's Skaven army. Will we have... I do wonder, will we have another draw in the after the 4th round? Or will we see... Oh well, yeah, we most likely will. We most likely won't have a draw this week, I don't think. So yeah, anyways, my opponent Milky Way is ready, so I'm just gonna go and find them and join their lobby. No, no, not the password. I should have get the code first. But yeah, anyways, we are going in once again as the Chaos Dwarfs, this time against the Skavens. Both are digging through... well, Chaos Dwarfs aren't digging as many underground tunnels, I assume. And yeah, we shall see what happens here. Do I go for Dreadquake again? Also, we're not Pillar of Bone. I probably will need a choo-choo train, so I won't be taking... You know what's gonna be funny? The supply train. Oh, that's gonna be so dumb. But we can't bring this in this one. Alright, Milky Way Skaven. It's gonna be a tough one as Milky Way is a pretty good Skaven player. So, yeah, I don't know. I might just have to go Kadai Fireborn and just plow through and hope for the best. Astrogolf? Nah, I'm not gonna bring Astrogolf. Just gonna bring a Sorcerer Prophet of Death. Charlottes of Blood and Darkness, as usual. Spirit Leech and Fate of Buna to delete weapons themes. And I probably, let's just bring a Bale Taurus, whatever. We're going melee rush, so let's just get a bit more stuff on the ground. And hope that the Demon's Tongue and Fate of Buna can deal with all the weapons teams before we die. Get a couple of these bad boys. You know what? We'll just go Great Taurus. Give up on the breath attack, and so that we have a little bit more money on other stuff. Nope, we can't bring that many. Or maybe what we can do is go for a Lure of Fire, Fireball, and Bale Taurus. Just get a couple of these Wolf Raiders and Fireball, Burning Head, Chalice, Kindle Flame. Yeah, that's almost done, I guess. Let me think. We still have a little bit of leftover money. Cascading Fire Cloak, and then one more Goblin Labors. See what happens. Alright, let's go. Multiple terror sources and a bit of a Burning Head to roast the enemy front line, so that our hopefully our units can push through. The problem is, will the Skavens go kiting? If they kite, then I'm in a bit of a trouble then. Actually, you know what? Right, yeah, I'll just keep it. Doesn't matter. Alright. Alright, we are going in. What we need is probably all these Kadai 5-1 at the front. They're gonna take all the hits from possible poison winds and everything that is designed to kill infantry. Let them take the brunt of the heat, and then my hobgoblins can flood in. And then a final line of chaff. Just for reinforcing with more bodies and maybe try and flank around, get to the back line, etc, etc. Yeah. Hopefully I remember to keep my Wolf Raiders alive. And I think I'm ready now. Good luck, have fun to my opponent, and we are good to go. Peter, why suffer guns, guns, guns? But you see, I don't bring guns. I'm going melee rush. It's not. I don't know if it's meta or not, but hey. Sometimes you gotta mix things up. I might actually bring a gun line next round, but we shall see what happens. We shall see what happens. Alright, just waiting for my opponent then. Alright, Goliath went to my opponent, and we shall start. War Flamethrower, I think I can handle these. Kind of. Actually, I don't know if I can. I think I have enough stuff to handle these. Alright, let's go. Yeah, these are not... Right, let's just rush them in. Oh, Jazales, okay, that's not ideal. Alright, let's fly over. Storm Vermin that's a problem. Snatty Boobos were there. Let's just use the... Kind of using our Kadai Firebomb as a bait so that the Demon's Tongue can kind of try and push through and get close. I also don't want to fly too close with my Saucer Prophet. Not yet, at least. Wait, that's a lot of fire damage. Alright, we can ignore that. Good thing is we have... Oh, whoa! What the fuck? Why are you doing so much damage? You're supposed to be fire resistant. What the fuck? Alright, let's just rush. There's no point in dilly-dallying anymore. Let's just go. And of course they have that's not ideal. Oh well, we plow through. That's good news, I guess. Alright, let everything just pile onto a front line then. Alright, whatever. Everyone just go in. I don't care what you're doing here. Just fucking go in. I don't care. Oh, whoa! Why are you there? Alright, time to choo-choo train into these. I need to tank another volley and they're going to die. No, we got in. Alright. But man, that was a painful volley there. Yeah, we have to push through, whatever. Just keep chasing them down. You guys move in. What the fuck was that? Alright, that was too much. Alright, you guys come over there. Oh no, he got suppressed. One more volley and it's gonna be dead. Alright, come over here and shut them down. One last run. Damn it. Just got screwed over by those firepower. Can't really do much other than try and burning head everything, but yeah. Those couple volley of Teeth Breakers, holy shit, that was painful. And there goes my main damage output. All the Kadai Firebomb are also dead. And I have so many more Storm Vermins that I need to kill. And I don't think I have what it takes here. I honestly don't think I have what it takes. Good news is I have the capture point, but how long can I hold on to it? That's the real question. Alright, let's just chill up those stuff. Pull back our Wolf Raiders and maybe get them to run back to somewhere safe, maybe? But yeah, the breath attack doesn't do enough range armor piercing damage. I don't have enough resources to kill all these stone vermins, man. Wait, can I? No, I need something to blob up so that I can breath attack it. They're not blobbing up. Of course they're not blobbing up because they're not dumb. Just go and kill these weapons teams, I guess. There's not much you can do there. Just go after the weapons team, please. Stop getting dragged into melee. Alright, I don't even know what to do now. They have the capture point. I don't have any resources that are notable at all. There are some regrouped weapons teams that are just lighting my shit up all over the place. All I have are some chaff because my best bet of killing Skavens, the firepower, the choo-choo train is just dead. Alright, okay, that volley done. Now they're on cooldown, reloading. I have to charge them. Just a few teeth breakers still there, and it might just be the end of my caster as well. I don't know. Alright, let's just go and fight. What? What? Tree, what? What? Tree, what are you doing? Oh man, I didn't even realize there's a tree there. Oh, I think I just don't have any luck today. What the fuck, tree? All right, we got some good burning heads. And we're taking way too much damage. Damn it. All right. But yeah, there are too many Skavens. I don't have enough bodies on with me. We can route the Stone Vermins, I think. All right, let's squeeze out one more Burning Head and one more Breath Attack, and then call it a day. If that doesn't lead to some miraculous breaks or anything. Oh, and here comes Queek. Oh, we have another breath attack ready soon-ish. And a regular burning head, not an overcast. All right. Alright, mass route at the back there. Please don't burn your own troops. Well, there goes burning our own troops, I guess. Getting some chain routes, but also breaking our own units because friendly fire, hey! Fly back into the skies. You guys can go and chase down those routed stuff. And, oh, you guys can go and route them. You can go and kill that. Get those routed, and we can do some cycle charging. Alright. But damn, the tree blocking my breath attack. Sorry about that, guys. This is gonna take a while. CD friendly firing their own slaves is law friendly. Sure, but that doesn't help with my cause right now. That really doesn't help. I need those bodies. What did I even do? Alright, let's just charge in whatever. That is our final stand. We don't have anything else to do now, other than hope for the best. With fighting heads and Skaven sacrificing their own troops while dropping a plague spell in there. And now, dude's stuck. Dude's stuck. He's not attacking. Alright, finally, he's landing a hit. But yeah, I can't win this one. I'm not gonna psycho charge to this one. I'm just gonna let Queek have his last, have his fight. Denied him for long enough. GG. Those teeth breakers, man, straight up deleted my Demon's Tongue. It was an expensive piece of monster, and I really relied on it too. Because I Fireball and I also kind of ignored them. Just trying to dive them into the backline and basically ignored them completely afterwards. And you can see a couple of them died really prematurely. I should have coordinated my attacks a bit better, but alas. These two advanced a little too far front and didn't actually manage to get anything done. As they were just heavy under fire from Teeth Breakers, from Natty Boobles, and from the Flamethrowers and whatnot. Of course, you can see the Sorcerer Prophet try to carry it, as per usual. But yeah, I needed to coordinate my attacks a little bit better with maybe some more mobility and maybe another single entity to disrupt their backline as well. That probably would have been a lot more worth it. Because without anything to disrupt the enemy backline, the Kadai 5-1 were just heavily focus fired. Maybe I need maybe I need a magma launcher, perhaps, to just pressure their artillery and formations. Good scrapping. Good scrap for sure. My opponent demonstrated a very nice use of their missiles, especially the Teeth Breakers, man. Deleting the Demon's Tongue, deleting a bunch of my Kadai Fireborn, and on top of that, even in the late game when they only have like a dozen models left, they still came back and blast the shit out of I mean, didn't really blast the shit out of the Sorcerer Prophet, but still chipped away a good chunk of his HP. So yeah, that definitely, these guys were definitely very strong now that accuracy is no longer a problem with this Regiment of Renown. They used to miss a lot because Rattling guns have weird aiming, but no longer. Alright, looks like we are in our final round now. And we might have a clear winner, actually, in this. Oh wait, depends on what happened, but we might or might not have a clear winner. We might have a clear winner. We might also go into a four-way tie again. We shall see. But right now, we are going to meet up with our opponent, Tank, there, and see what happens with our game. Alright, let me just host a lobby. Wait, what was the last replay we downloaded again? Sorry, I'm just doing some organizing of the replay files right now. Okay, right, I think these are the ones I haven't downloaded yet, so I'm just gonna go and save them down. There we go. And our opponent is here. We are going in with... Right, we are going to Troll Run, by the way. That's a different map. Right, against Norska. Now, Norska, normally I'm very much afraid of facing... Like, normally if I play Norska versus Kielsdorf, I would be throwing in a bunch of Familiars, because I know the Kielsdorf firepower, I can't do shit against their missile resistance. But, this time we're on the other side of the battlefield now, so we have to be wary of their units instead. What shall we do? Bull Center renders, maybe we need a couple of these bad boys, and then a few more Kadai Fireborn to fight Skin Wolves. And front line of... Oh, they're gonna bring Bearmen, aren't they? We might have to go elite here. Couple Infernal Iron Sworn. And... I'm not sure, actually, what else to go for. Blazing Beards, and then I'm out of money because everything's so expensive here. Okay, let's just go and fight them in melee. Drazov the Ashen, don't bring Cinder Breath, we're just bringing him for his melee buffs. Dark Renown, and then bring Infernal Castellan, because they have the Breath of Hatred. And then a Bull Center Torok to fight single entities. Negates magic weapons within the effect area. Might be useful for the Kadai Fireborn. Let's just do that. Dark Mace, because why not, right? And then... Acceptor, I don't think... Warhammer Curse of Hashut. Flames of Asgore. Let's just bring it up just because I don't... Oh. We're going melee. I'm not going gun line, I don't think. Not against Norska with their own... With those Kurgan horsemen, that is gonna be a pain. Cinder Breath, Burning Wrath, Curse of Hashut. Plus, I'm not gonna bother with Flames of Asgore. Maybe we can use this. Yeah, Damon Smith Crucible. Man, this dude is expensive. How to best deal with... how to best deal with the Kurgan Horsemen? Important message in DM? Alright, thanks for attack. I appreciate the advice, but I also want to bring my own build. But now you're putting me in a dilemma. Should I bring your build or should I not? I feel like that is gonna be a heavy Kurgan horseman thing. Kurgan heavy hair court. All right. I'll bring it. I'll bring your build and see what happens. Max gunpowder it is. I'm not gonna bring the exact same build, and just gonna take what I feel when I'm feeling like it or something. So this sticks there. I don't know if I want to put him on a mount or just put him on foot. Actually, let's put him on a mount, cause why the fuck not? And then a few wolf raiders to screen. You know what? Who needs caster, right? I just need the net. Oh wait, no. Is there any good spell? I don't have enough money here. Too expensive? Oh, just put them on foot, I guess. Save some money. No Reforge. No, just on foot as well. Spirit Leech, Fate of Buna, and that's about it. Oh yeah, Infernal Engineer. And then another couple Wolf Raiders, just get some mobility to maybe pin down the enemy, fan off the enemy from the back line and see what happens, I guess. Alright, max firepower. Just guns, and more guns, and see what happens, I guess. I don't know if this is gonna work against Famir. I honestly don't think this is gonna work against Famir, but I guess if there's no Famir, this will work. But if there's Famir, if there's two Famirs in the front line, then this build is screwed. That's basically what's gonna happen there. Unless I focus 2-3 blunderbusses onto the same Famir, then it's gonna be a different story. But yeah, it's gonna be a rough one, I think. Say this stick snare and say this stick snare only. 35 meters. Yeah, that's nothing. I can't be bothered. Let's just get another body on the field. Yeah, let's go, I guess. Alright, max gunpowder and see what happens. You shoot them in the head. It's not map for shit, it's a rush map. Triple terrain. Triple train, just rule break. If I bring supply train, I don't think that's a rule break. Let's see what happens. I think it'll be yeah, that's a lot of terrain. I don't feel confident on this map with all the guns, but it's too late to back down now. We just have to run with it and see what happens. Alrighty. I mean, it's a rush map, but we are also kind of missile rushing. Kind of, I guess. We have missiles and we're gonna push. So technically we're also rushing too. Technically. I don't think that's how it works, but I'm just looking for excuse right now. Guns! We're Chaos Dwarf, so we need more guns. Unfortunately, they don't have gun cavalry, so that's as many guns as I can bring. No more guns now. That's the max guns. Alright, forgot about one thing. Guard mode on. You two stick together. I might need to pull them back a little bit more. Give them a bit more space from the front line. Alright, let's go. Just guns. Guns. Kurgan horsemen. That's oh, that's a lot of infantry. Maybe I have a chance. Maybe. I also am not seeing anything explicit. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! Come back. Alright, pulling back. These guys just keep firing at those mammoths. Oh, well. That's not ideal. I've got a bunch of firepower not using their firepower right now. And a purple son of Zerus blasting through my ranks. That's not ideal at all. Alright, you guys just push, and I need you guys to disrupt that. Flank. Spirit Leech. You guys jump onto these guys there. Alright, go and disrupt that. Alright, right, I don't have any other resources anywhere else. And, alright, those are done for. Just send those guys over here. You guys shoot them. Just keep poking them down. Keep dropping those spirit leeches. Shoot that. Well, we're not flanked, I guess. Technically. But we're still dealing with a bunch of great weapon infantry, so that's not ideal. Too much stuff. I don't have enough resources. Alright. Yeah, they went for a wide army, which is a bit awkward for me. Shoot these guys, I guess. Shoot that. Alright, come back, and then it's time for another Spirit Leech. Nope, not yet. Go and fire on these guys, peel them off maybe. Chase them down. Oh, fuck, Purple Sun again. We're not flanked, so no devastating. Oh, never mind, we're getting flanked there. Well, great work from my opponent there, just wiping out my missiles one after the other. Purple Sun, and then sending in mobility to disrupt. This build does have a lot of potential, but I kind of botched the micro a bit with the missiles. So that was not ideal on my end. Like the missiles, I could have positioned them better instead of just walking straight into enemy range. So that was definitely on me. And yeah, this build does have some really good potential, I think. Just unfortunately, my execution was left wanting. Zatan the Black? Don't you dare fucking terror routed on me. Fuck. Of course it terror routed on me. And I don't have anything to finish off the Lord there. I don't have... The Spirit Leech is not gonna come in time. Still on cooldown. And Zatan is getting thrown around. The Lord has routed. But so is everything else on my side. Alright, I forgot about these guys. How could I? How could I? I need one more Spirit Leech though. Oh, I don't think I can save them. Zatan is dead. I've got 7 more. Oh, never mind. They're routed as well. I do wonder what happens if my opponent brings Familiars. GG. Yeah, one pretty obvious mistake I made in the early game is I just left my left flank kind of behind. Instead of pushing towards a bit, instead of rotating my... Okay, I'm gonna go back into the replay and just look at what I did wrong and think about it. But yeah, we did a lot of good damage with the gun line. They did well. Unfortunately, I fucked up my micro on the right flank a bit there, and my opponent seeing that there's a vegetation on the right side of the map, very nicely just concentrated all their forces onto that flank and pushing in with a flank overload. That's why you bring more sneaky gits. No, yeah, that's true. Those goblin laborers just died quick, and the sneaky gits actually held on long enough to kill a bunch of marauders. And yeah, Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders, they didn't do much. One of them did well, but the other two, there were no match against the Kurgan Horsemen, who did some very solid damage. 4 Kurgan Horsemen as well, so that's a lot of mobility with armor piercing and devastating flanker for me to contend with, and I just did not have the resources to do. I don't know if a full gun, like I don't know if I cut out the hobgoblins and bring more sneaky gits would fix the issue. I definitely need to use the snare a bit better there, because there were multiple instances I could have tried to snare something down, but in the early game, if I have Zatan the Black at the right position and used the snare earlier, I probably could have held the line, but he was not in position at all. He was way too far from there because my opponent just ran away from him and overloaded on the far flank. But yeah, that was not ideal on my own execution. Yeah, very good stuff from Tank though. Keeping the Great Shaman Sorcerer alive and the Furrow Mammoth as well. You don't need Massive, you just shoot the enemy in the face on the approach. I was thinking of I need something fast enough to react to the Kurgan Horsemen. I guess being fast enough to catch up is still not enough. Zatan and his mount would also have silenced their lord the entire game. Oh shit, yeah, you're right! That's definitely one thing I should have done. You're right. You're right, the Lamasu. I should have went for the Lamasu. Yeah, you're right. having the llama suit and the ability to move fast and catch up. Yeah, you're right. That was my bad there. Zata on the mount and sadistic snare. That would be a very nice combo. Fast enough to catch up and also having the ability to silence. There's no wolf faster than a bullet, true. And there's nothing stops something better than a wall of bullets. You're right. A bullet right in the face. That would have worked well. Alright, but yeah, that's basically it for the live games for this 20, unless we have no clear winner. But no, looks like we do have a clear winner. Oh, and we are the last game, literally. So let me just report the scores there, and that shall conclude all the live games of this 20. We're moving on. I'm the only one who hasn't won a single match. Damn it! Oh, I need to get good. But yeah, GG to everyone. Hopefully you all had fun in the 20, and congratulations to Somir for the win. Very good stuff. They are going for high elves. So I expect to see a lot of good high elves games then. Alright, let me collect the replays and see what happens here. High elf OP, please nerf silver helms AP ratio. Contrarian Codex, that's why you don't change the build, but I want to tweak the build just so I can screw up horribly and embarrass myself. You can't stop me from doing that. You can't stop me from changing a perfected build and messing things up myself. No, I refuse. But yeah, thanks for the build, and also thanks for everyone for joining. We are moving on to the replay section. Let me just collect the replay files, and we are gonna cast soonish. Let me just get the files first. Give me a second. We do have quite a few replays today since we do have a good turn up. So you're gonna be here for a while. Actually, speaking of that, I might need to wait. No, I have a full water bottle. I don't have to be worried about that. I was about to say I'm gonna rehydrate, but it's fine. I have enough water in my water bottle. Are good. We are ready to go. Just back to the Vampire Coast. Back to the Vampire Coast background, and we wait for it to load. Yep, there goes all the replays here. Lizardman versus Vampire Coast, we've seen that, we've played that. Kislev versus Norska, two quite blue factions. Both are seen as relatively savage, barbaric by the Empire, less sophisticated and all that, but one's on the side of order, one's on the side of chaos. Now, for the army builds here for Kislevites, this is actually very lore-friendly battle. You have the Kislevite fighting the Norskins coming from the north. Kislevites acting as the shield of humanity, fending off the forces of chaos with their winged lances, Griffin Legion, and stuff like that. For the army builds here, horse archers gonna skirmish down the enemy Marauder horsemen, a front line of Kislevite warriors backed up by a shit ton of cavalry, Griffin Legion, and 3 Griffin Legions and some Kislevite dervishes. A very mobile force of Kislevite leading the army is cast out in with no magic. Oh wait, no, there's one magic. The Frost Maiden here with ice, Death Frost, and Ice Sheet. For the Norscan army here, slow down a bit. A shit ton of Marauder horsemen, very standard stuff actually. You would expect so against the new new Norska actually. You have Kurgan horsemen, you have Beasts of Tashnar, more Kurgan horsemen, and these ones have great, all of them have great weapons. That's the most cost-efficient AP cavalry you can get in the game right now. It's not gonna get better than this, honestly. And yeah, that's it for the mobility forces. Actually, there's also the skin wolves. The front line of infantry with Marauder berserkers mixed in with Marauder spears, and a great shaman sorcerer of death with only purple son of Zerus offering unto the gods fight or die warrior familiar to add some melee stats on that. a lack of stats of the caster, but that's fine. They have all the stats in the world to make up for it with temporary buff. Plus 24 attack and defense. Other than that, what else? We have, yeah, that's basically it for the army builds. Go back to normal speed. Now the horse archers are skirmishing. Chipping away the riders of the mighty serpent a bit there. But yeah, they're holding fine for now. They're taking some damage, but they do have a little bit of physical resistance to mitigate it. So they're fine for now. Oh, Kostalden going ham, going balls deep into these skin wolves. This is a bit of an awkward situation. And then the Great Shaman Sorcerer, seeing that Kostalden is isolated, just comes in and took a couple chunks of health from this rather bold and reckless Lord of Kislev, while the riders of this mighty serpent is just sitting there eating arrows from those enemy horse archers, while the skin wolves trying to pursue Kostalden, but unfortunately getting countercharged by the Griffin Legion, by the Kislevite warriors, and Kostalden activating the charge bonus on the Ursun's Roar. Yeah, the skin wolves are actually deleted, annihilated in the very first glance. And although over here, Griffin Legion getting rear charged by a bunch of Kurgan horsemen. That is not ideal, because the warriors are coming in to screen out the enemy cavalry, but on the other side, Dervishes are getting chilled up by Beasts of Tashnar with Marauder Spears in tow. While in the center, Griffin Legion are trying hard to hold on and pin down the center there, but more Kurgan horsemen and Berserkers are flooding into the fray and forcing them back. This is not ideal for the Kislevite front line for sure, leaving only the Kislevite warrior still holding on against the terror of the Great Mammoth. Horse archers are retreating and just kind of shooting and scooting, kiting away at the enemy mobility there, while the Griffin Legion taking more and more losses as they're the mainstay outside of the Kislevite warriors to hold on and delay the enemy advance. A Purple Son of Zeruz, I guess, trying to aim at the horse archers, but very nicely the horse archers backed away from it and dodged most of the damage there, while the Great Shaman Sorcerer is being pinned down by a shit ton of Kozovite Dervishes, Griffin Legion, and Marauder Berserkers. Now they're getting charged down by the Griffin Legion there. Kislevite warriors are still holding thanks to their Bile Blood, giving them temporary unbreakable effect, just holding on in the front line, while Frost Maiden pulling back all the horsemen, all the cavalry of Kislev's army is just pulling back there, doing a bit of ping pong cycle charging between enemy mobility and enemy infantry. You can see that the Kurgan horsemen trying to charge the Kozovite Dervishes, but at the same time behind them the Griffin Legion came in and slammed them down into our almost routing. They're probably going to rout soon. While over here, Kurgan horsemen trying to pile onto the Griffin Legion there with the support of Marauder Berserkers, but at the same time these Kurgan horsemen are surrounded with a concave of horse archer fire. Actually, the horse archers are firing at the enemy javelins for now, trying to whittle down the enemy missile support. And yeah, looks like Kislevite does indeed have the upper hand here, as they're fighting retreat. Allow them to attrition down the enemy rather fragile Kurgan horsemen, attrition down the enemy skin wolves and infantry with their skirmishing firepower, getting quite some damage throughout the battle. This one getting they're getting quite some damage over the course of battle there, and of course they have enough mobility to dodge away from the Purple Son of Zeruz, unlike myself, unlike my blunderbusses, we just sat there and eat the freaking Purple Sun and died. Also, I guess it's also partly on me for not responding in time, not reacting to the spellcasting in time there. But yeah, enough about myself. Now, Death Frost continues to drain away the Great Shaman Sorcerer. While it's on a Mammoth and has a lot of HP, these kind of direct health damage is still very useful just over the course of battle, slowly attritioning down the enemy there. Kurgan Horseman tries to run down the enemy horse archers, but they are taking damage as they pursue a 360 shooting and fire while moving enemy there. Over here, Kurgan horsemen. Oh, actually no. Horse skirmishers charging into horse skirmishers, just duking it out against each other, and the Great Shaman Sorcerer trying his best to hunt down Kosselton, but Salak's Lullaby. How many uses was that? That's the second use. Keeping Kosselton alive and whatever is around him alive. Very nice spell to just heal a blob of Kislevite troops, making sure they can stay in the battle for even longer, thanks to their temporary unbreakable and also extra health. Yeah, and I think that's going to be it for the battle here, as Kislevite wins out in the balance of power throughout the... this is very canon as a battle there. The Kislevites doing a hit and run with their horse archers and hitting hard with their Griffin Legion, their heavy lancer cavalry and whatnot. And yeah, wearing down their barbaric opponent throughout the course of battle there. Very nice stuff from Phoenix King there with a victory to the Kislevites. As the Griffin Legion cycle charging everything to death. These one not so much, but the other two did pretty well. These ones, I suppose, they were tied down by enemy Kurgan horsemen and possibly Beasts of Tashanar as well. But the MVP indeed are, I would say, definitely are these horse archers there. Just slowly whittling down the enemy units, especially these enemy skirmishers, with their longer range archer fire, and also wearing down some of these Kurgan horsemen. They're fast enough so that the Kurgan horsemen would have a hard time catching up to them. And even if the Kurgan horsemen caught up, they will still get shot in the face by their counter firing, as these Kislevite horse archers tries to back away from the Kurgan horsemen. So yeah, the Kurgan horsemen, if they can catch up with a flanking charge, they would be a devastating unit. But unfortunately, against an army of overwhelming numbers of horse archers, they struggle to catch up at all. Very nice stuff from Phoenix King and Tank. Oh no! What have you done, RNG? Vampire Counts versus Nurgle. That is indeed a bit cursed, isn't it? As we are going into a grind fest between the two armies, and this is a very grindy battle for sure. All right, so army build, brace yourselves. Kurgan horsemen are one of the least efficient AP mobility, I think, which is good. They're one of the few mobile AP units that are balanced. Oh, are they at least I guess they are at least efficient in terms of how easy they die. But then for only 700 gold, you can get some ridiculous AP damage. I would say. Cause like something like a Fireborn is extra expensive, while having access to healing does make them quite strong. But like for how. Like, Kurgan horsemen, for how cheap they are, the damage they can do is insane. I guess it's more of a high-risk, high-reward unit, due to how easy they die, but still, man, I would say they are very good for their price point if you can get them to do damage. They're a true glass cannon indeed, yeah, I agree. Let's move to slow pacing, so we can check out the army builds here. For the Vampire Count, a front line of zombies and skeleton spears backed up by 3 crypt horrors and more Vampire Count's more self-regenerating monsters. That's probably a better word to say here. Vargheists in disguise, they do have the hunger to heal back themselves while in melee. Yet they're still very fragile. So if they get shot by skirmishing cavalry and stuff like that, they're still gonna die a horrible, horrible death. Leading the army in disguise is a Von Costheim Vampire Lord with sort of anti-heroes, Storm of the Night to lock down possible enemy skirmishers, particularly Angels of Decay and other flying skirmish. I mean, there's no really other flying skirmishers. Other flying units, I guess. Plague drones with Death's Head and more plague drones. Bloat flies, furies, that sort of stuff for the Nurgle army here. Other than that, spells wise, Flock of Doom to drain down enemy, Valhalla Stance Macabre, Invocation of the Heck, and Zombie Summons. For the other side of the battlefield, the Nurgle army is going with a relatively elite front line of Plague Bearers of Nurgle. Pretty... They are a lot tougher than your zombies, so they're gonna outgrind the zombies for sure, especially when supported by Kugath Plague Father himself with his Mortis Engine effect. Other than that, a couple Plogers with great weapons for that anti-large armor piercing. Very nice stuff to come in against the Vampire Counts. In case they need to kill monsters and stuff, Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes, their only type of ground skirmishing power on the Nurgle army side. And yeah, that's it for the army builds, and let's go into normal speed with that battle beginning. Actually, Kugath is going in with Fleshy Abundance and Stream of Corruption. That's it. That's all for the spell kit. And very exciting stuff. Two extremely slow grinding army marching towards each other, and Flock of Doom already hitting some of these units from the Von Carstein Vampire Lord. He's probably going to spend all his magic on Flock of Dooms to try and drain down the other side. Forgot about the Mortis Engine, as it is just sitting back and chilling. Yeah, it's just chilling at the back there, being very wary of going into the fight, as there are the Plogers with great weapons and Marauder Horsemen always ready to shut it down with all that anti-large or missile firepower. And Necromancer is stroking his Forbidden Rod. Ooh, how great would that be if there's a Winds of Death to go down the line there. But yeah, there's no such a thing as Winds of Death on this battlefield today. So yeah, we are seeing some Vargheists diving down from the front instead of from the back. I suppose it's easier for them to pull through from their own troops there. While over here, Marauder Horsemen of Nurgle with throwing axes are circling around, trying to get into position and shoot down that Mortis Engine, who is sitting right in the middle of a combat, draining down all these Plague Bearers and Plogers around them. Over here, Von Carstein Vampire Lord dropped in a Zombie Summon right on top of these Marauder Horsemen who are not able to pull away in time, and that means the Vargheists are able to pounce on them and shut them down, doing some really good damage alongside the terror from the Von Carstein Vampire Lord's Dragon. Yeah, those horsemen are forced to pull away. But yes, at the same time, Kugath Plague Father is also doing some draining work there, plus a Stream of Corruption, whittling down the enemy zombie frontline there. But good news for the Vampire Counts is that they have access to a lot more passive healing, with the Mortis Engine providing the Reliquary Binding, replenishing surrounding units' hit points, and then the Crypt Horrors also have their own regeneration, while the Marauder Horsemen still struggling to find their mark onto their targets, as these Skeleton Spears and the Vargheists are very diligent in chasing down and pressuring off those Marauder Horses. Like these routed Marauder Horsemen of Nurgle are being chased all the way to the white line, I assume. How many breath attacks has he used? Oh, we missed one of the breath attacks from the Von Carstein Vampire Lord. But it's fine. We'll just keep going with the combat here. But yeah, more Flock of Dooms earlier, draining down the middle blob of the Nurgle army. I might actually fast forward a bit there. As the Vargheists are out of position, finally the Marauder Horsemen are able to come in and start whittling down the Mortis Engine. You can see there's no Vargheists nearby to keep screening anymore, and suddenly the Mortis Engine is taking a crap ton of damage. Holy crap! Now already down to half health from a few volleys, and the Plogers are just right behind them as well. Invocation of the Heck trying to sustain its HP, but will it be enough? We shall see there. As the Vargheists are still sitting in the middle of that fight, not really moving on to help out the Mortis Engine. They really need the Mortis Engine in the late game from the Vampire Counts there, but the Plogers are dismantling this war machine of the Vampire Counts. Oh no, the Von Carstein Vampire Lord, you do not want to be in there. You do not want to be in the middle of a bunch of Plogers who are ready to smack you down with the anti-large armor piercing. Absolutely no. Alright, at least he's very wisely backing the hell out of there. Breath attack onto some Plague Bearers. Unfortunately, they're not on top of some overlap units, so that was a bit of a waste. But yeah, you can see the grind is slowly moving in favor of the Nurgle army. Their main Mortis Engine is still around. and slowly draining everything nearby. And yeah, I don't see how the vampire counts have anything to finish off Kugav, honestly. There's no Mortis engine for them to counter grind the enemy blob, which is just sitting there and tanking all the hits that the vampire counts are throwing at them. And the lone Von Kostine Vampire Lord is not gonna beat out Kugav Plague Fighter even in melee. As there's so many melee support, and on top of that, throwing axes nearby to whittle down the Lord. I'm just gonna fast forward here. The Vargeist is psycho charging diligently, but that's about it. Every time he dives down, they take a bunch of attrition damage as they got stuck in melee there, and yeah, they're just too fragile of a unit. Eventually, yeah, I just don't like Vargeist. I just don't like Vargeist as I play with the counts. They're just so fragile, man. They're just so fragile. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Don't like they are the only good damage dealer unit from the Vampire Counts roster, but well, I guess Blood Knights are also decent, but yeah. Every time they charge in, they just take a crap ton of damage and die horribly. Mortis engine got heavily targeted by the throwing axis and died before it was able to counteract Kugav's before it did enough to counteract Kugav's health drain himself. Well, Kugav did a lot of drain value there, but mostly the Plogers killing the monsters and hunting down the Mortis engine there. Throwing axis did alright. And Plague Bearer is simply superior as a line infantry that holds on and punch down those zombies and skellies. It is super hard for VC. What matchup is not hard for VC these days? Honestly, they are in dire need of an update. Like, they need the Nagash update soon. This faction has not seen any new updates ever since the Bloodlines update, which is like what? Warhammer 1 or 2? Start of Warhammer 2 and of Warhammer 1 around there? Like, this faction needs something to help them out. Yeah. VC should be allowed to bring those ranged units. I will actually, good point. Yeah, I'll allow it in the next faction wars. This year, VC will have their second DLC, which is an incredibly low amount of DLC for a base game faction. Yeah, Greenskins have has three DLCs by now, or 4 DLCs. Yeah, 4 DLCs by now, and a bunch of free updates too, free lords and stuff. Like, what did the Vampire Counts have? All they got was Blood Knights with sword and board. That's it. That's all they got. That's all they got. They got the Red Duke and the Bloodlines Lord. That's about it. I guess Isabella von Kostine is also something. It doesn't help the fact that a few of their lords are kind of useless. You're seeing the main ones. Like, Strigoi Gold King is like a downgraded version of the Strigoi Vampire Lord, so he doesn't count. You have the regular Vampire Lord, also doesn't count, because it literally has no merit over the Bloodline Vampire Lords. Yeah, there's literally no merit over the Bloodline Vampire Lords. If we look at something like, say, something like, say, Necrarch, Strigoi, von Kostine, they also all have their interesting, unique toolkits. This guy have the most generic toolkit, Charm Shield, Sword of Anti-Heroes, that's about it. There's nothing interesting about it. Like, at least the Warriors of Chaos, their generic caster lord, generic sorcerer lord, has the Tormentor Sword, which is a quite interesting ability that can sometimes be useful and actually justifies bringing him occasionally to battle. I mean, yeah, the Greenskins war boss suffers the same thing, I guess, but like, the Vampire Counts just have so much less tools. so much fewer tools to use. Man, they live a hard life. They live a hard life. Yeah, this Vampire Lord generic run doesn't count. Master Necromancer doesn't count unless you want a super cheap Lord, and you maybe can justify bringing him. Helman Gorse is absolute crap, which is even worse than something like, say, Queek. At least Queek, if in the right fight, can do some good damage. Gorse and his Gorse card, yeah, Mortis Engine, but sure, but he's so fragile. A lot less HP than a Mortis Engine. A lot less survivable too. So yeah, Graveguard summon doesn't do shit because the summon disappears. Yeah, it's just a hard time to be. It's just a hard time to be a vampire count these days, honestly. Oh wait, yeah, they had the Graveguard Halberds update. I forgot about that. Oh wow, yeah, game changer unit. And don't forget that the Black Knights, despite being a rather mid-tier cavalry, it's like 1,000 gold. Quite expensive. Honestly, quite ridiculously expensive for what they provide on the battlefield. They are not worth that much. Down it to like 900, man. They're not worth that much. Alright, enough of me rambling about the Vampire Count's army. Let's go back into replay castings. What else? What's next? We went through the grind. Let's not go. Oh, wow. We're actually seeing a Master Necromancer for once. Many people wanted an Undead Merwin for Vampire Codes, but that's another story. I feel like CA would have a relatively easy time to bring out an Undead Merwin. Like, it's like Merwin, but with, like, retextured, right? Something like so just do what they did to those Chaos God flavored warriors, knights, and Chaos Bones. I guess in a much bigger scale, I guess, which might change things. But anyways, for the armies here, we have vampire counts going with a front line of zombies mixed in with Karn Wraiths and spears on skeletons and spears on the flanks and at the back. Corpse God Unholy Lodestone. Leading the army is a mixed Master Necromancer on a and that skeletal dark peg. It's not Dark Pegasus. It's what, Skeletal Pegasus or whatever it's called. Anyways, Blood Knights, Karn Wraiths, Black Knights, Lances and Barding. We're seeing these guys on the field, despite me trashing them earlier. We'll see if they are worth it over here. And Hex Wraiths on the field as well. Other than that, hold on a second. All right, yeah. Other than that, I think that's it for the army build here. The oh wait, yeah, Dire Pack. Hex Wraiths, yeah, that's about it. So a lot of mobility to pressure the enemy skirmishers and also just keep the enemy on the run, making sure and also flank and disrupt the enemy missiles and mobility. For the Necromancer, Gaze of Nagash for long range shooting, the only form of artillery that the vampire counts have. And other than that, we have Von Hellstar's Macabre and Shim's Burning Gaze. For the Empire Army, a box build of halberds and spears surrounding more halberds, 3 competent militia, quite a few of them as well. They do have the great advantage of being decent in melee and can survive if a zombie summon being dropped onto these guys. White Wolves, Regiment of Renowned Huntsmen to kill monsters, I suppose, and the Unbreakable Tattered Souls. I'm not seeing Sigma Sons. Would be funny to see them here for once. I haven't seen Sigma Sons ever since. I feel like ever since Game 2 ended. Yeah, it's been a long while since we've seen any Sigma Sons. For the single entities here, we have a couple carts. One is the Laser Cart, and the other is Volkswagen. 2 wagons. I mean, Laser Wagon, Volkswagen. Volkmar Grim on his shrine. With War Altar, whatever it's called. Grand Hammer of Sigmar, Bound Banishment, Grand Shield of Faith, and Grand Soulfire with his Straight Griffon to heal himself up. But yeah, Temple of Luminarch to delete single entities like this poor Corpse card Unholy Lodestone. But that's about it for army builds there, and yeah, let's see what happens. Oh right, also Bright Wizard.
to burn down zombies and skellies. And obviously the Corpse Guard does not have speed to dodge the lasers. So yeah, they're just gonna get blasted. While the Free Company militia are standing their ground, just slowly chipping away incoming units. And my god, that Corpse Guard is getting deleted. Now we are seeing Conraves coming in from the flanks, but this is a box, so they're just holding all the spears and whatnot, are holding their ground, trying to buy more time for the missiles to shoot there. Just keep them poking away, and here comes a Bound Banishment right on top of their own. Oh wait, no, that's a Grand Soul Fire. Never mind, doing really good damage to those ethereal ghosts. While over here, Blood Knights are ramming into the Brave Spears, so not doing a whole lot of damage yet due to their bonus charge defense against large and bracing. But yeah, that Grand Soul Fire very effective against the Conraves. You probably can't find a better free spell against the Conraves on the Empire roster. And yeah, the box is holding, beating back those Conraves, and the zombies are stuck, unable to advance just yet. While the Blood Knight Psycho Charging is trying to make some leeway, but the spears are still holding for now, with more halberds standing in reserve. Burning Head onto the Conraves. Probably could have just gone this way instead, and it could have probably went straight through the Conraves and into another unit of Skellies. But of course, there's a chance of just curving into your own troops, so I guess that's why they went this way with the Burning Head. While the back there, Blood Knights are driving the way into the back line. They're finding some gaps in the enemy defenses. The first spears has buckled, but this is why there's reserves of halberdiers at the back there. Master Necromancer is getting targeted by laser. I didn't realize the Temple of Luminar curves, and the tracking laser strikes Master Necromancer, forcing out an Invocation of the Heck. But he was burned earlier with the... Yeah, he was earlier getting burned with the Temple of Luminarch, I suppose. So, yeah. Eating quite a bit of damage from that laser beam. Yeah, the Master Necromancer has no choice but to just stand the hell away from this main box fight. But good news is that the spears and halberdiers are slowly buckling with the Psycho Charging. Lancers and Barding, Black Knights and Blood Knights with Lances are Psycho Charging, and bit by bit they're thinning out that box defenses. But the Free Company Militia are still firing, although these guys seem to have issues with line of sight, so not a whole lot of damage output so far. But close to earning back their worth now, just 150 gold more, and White Wolves continues to fire, chipping away the enemy missiles. But while the balance of power is in favor of the Empire army, I do say that the undead still have a chance to come back, as they are indeed making decent progress against the Empire box with their Psycho Charging. The problem is that the Master Necromancer has to stay the hell away from that Temple of Luminarch, not having any abilities to strike down this single entity there. So that is going to be a problem for sure. Alright, some Grand Soul Fire there, blasting down stuff on the ground. Nothing too insane, just some minor damage, better than nothing, but it's better to just dump them on the Hex Rays. But yeah, the Psycho Charging is slowly wearing down both the Empire army and the Undead army, as the Undead are taking damage every time they charge in, especially when charging in to an anti-large armor piercing unit like that of the Halberdiers. So yeah, I think the Undead will be losing out on this one, as there's still a whole blob of Empire troops still standing strong, getting that Flaming Sword of Ruin to buff their non-armor piercing missile strength. Also adding that fire damage to reduce their any possible incoming healing as well. And there are no AoE spells to punish this because, well, one, the Master Necromancer and his Gaze of Nagash are like on the other side of the battlefield. And two, there are no more other casters on the field either. So, yeah. I think that is going to be GG. I'm going to fast forward here as the Vampire Count's army is with every cycle charge, they are getting picked off and shot to death by those militia with pistols. Now the Empire army here, let's see, Templar's Luminarch does some good snipes onto the single entities, including the Master Necromancer and the Unholy Lodestone Corpse Guard. For the ground forces, the Spears and Halberdiers stood their ground with their anti-large damage, just slowly chipping down those enemy heavy cav, although not all of them earned back their value, I don't think. While the Halberdiers didn't... Oh wait, sorry, not Halberdiers. The Free Company Militia didn't do a whole lot of damage. Earned back their worth. Some of them earned back their worth. These three, not so much. But yeah, mostly it's the Spears grinding down the incoming cavalry. And the Master Necromancer getting nuked by the laser beam was not able to close in and drop Invocation of Nahak to heal up those rather tattered Blood Knights and Black Knights. You can see cycle charging a spear box is a big pain for all these heavy cavalry. Luminarch better sniper than Alif Anadan. Yeah, like Alif Banar can still miss. This laser just tracks, man. This laser just tracks. Tatatsul's got a lot of kills, being an unbreakable flagellant. I expect no less from them. But yeah, that's about it for this battle there. Moving on to the next one. Where are we? We played that one ourselves. That was where we were. Lizmen versus High Elves. And we are seeing a bit of a Sea Elemental. Let's see what happens here. Alright, slow down a little bit. Let's see, for the High Elf army from Somir, a very tight, very narrow army, a front line of ships companies backed up by Sylvan guards, and supported by one single Fireborn with two single entities in the sky there. Alastair the White Lion, for once we're seeing somebody playing with him in multiplayer 20, well, at least on our 20. I think I used Alastair once before, but yeah, not seeing anyone else using him. But yeah, we're seeing Alastair here. He is on Fire Dragon relatively cheap compared to the Star Dragon character. So yeah, should be able to get some more funds for other units like the Frost. Oh wait, oh, that's not a regular Frostar Phoenix. It's Caradrian, a powerful melee combatant for sure. Solid melee stats and anti-large armor piercing, making it way better than your usual Frostheart Phoenix. Sea Elemental, they're a tanky single entity that can survive a lot of onslaught with physical resistance, missile resistance, fire resistance, and immune to contact effect, and perfect vigor as well. Providing spell support is piercing bolts of burning and burning head on a single fire mage. Now on the other side, for the Lizardman here, a front line of Skink Court backed up by Court of Sotek and some other skinks in the form of Skink Skirmishers, and we have the Koan Spear Riders providing anti-large armor piercing attacks with a few single entities. Once again, a very green Bastiladon with a Quarto in the skies hiding units underneath this Sacred Monsters. And I guess it's to avoid getting hit by bolt throwers, or just sending this Quarto in to destroy enemy archers. I don't know. Leading the army is a Slime-Age Priest of High Magic with Bound Banishment, Soul Quench, and Apotheosis for heals. Also Tempest to lock down enemy flyers. Alright, let's go back into normal speed and see what happens there. You can hide your lord somewhere behind a rock or forest from the Luminarch, but then he's out of the battle anyway, and VC rely on their lord a lot. Yeah, basically, the whole thing is about being a threat and denying the enemy from using their lord, and either killing them or just scaring them into hiding. Both works. And it's for Vampire Count, I think it's very hard for them to specifically target the Luminarch. without a lot of fly. I mean, they have Terra guys, I guess. But yeah, anyways, we are seeing the Bastiladon solar engine. Oh wait, no, this is not Rev Crystal, it's a solar engine. Opening fire from afar, blasting away the ship's companies and also nuking their melee stats a bit. Yeah, while the Lizardmen are just waiting their opponents to approach them. Sea Elemental just YOLOing forward. Poison, blow dots, and javelins won't work against him, since it does have immune to contact effect. While at the back there, 5-1 getting hit by the solar engine, but thankfully they do have that 35% fire resistance, tanking a good chunk of that fire laser, sun laser. Benefiting onto ship's companies, shredding through their formation, and no friendly fire this time. Very nicely done by the Slime Mage Priest, and Quato will be jumping onto the ground, try and tussle with the Sea Elemental there. Caradrian will be coming in to help and try and beat down the Quato. While the ship's companies and spears, the Silvering Guard specifically, will be duking it out against the Skinks, and you can see both neither side are doing much damage to each other. It is the monster and cavalry that will be deciding the outcome of this battle there. Both sides having their elite cavalry held in reserve, while the monsters are all the way in the front line and duking it out. As Alistair has dove onto the ground there, triggering a counter charge from those Koan Spear Riders and Court of Sotal. Court of Soltek, sorry. Court of Soltek moving in as well, hacking down the enemy unit. Piercing Bolts of Burning, attempting to thin out the enemy units, but unfortunately the cavalry has moved and not a whole lot of damage has been done to the Koan Spear Riders. Ship's company on this at the same time has pushed through, but the problem is that the Alistair the White Lion is extremely low health right now, as he fled from this fight against the Sea Elemental and Caradrian himself. Unfortunately, Alistair, despite him being like a campaign-only lord, or more like, well, as he is a campaign-only lord, he doesn't have the most balanced stats and quite weak in melee. He's not the most powerful character for sure. So yeah, he struggled against all these single entity fights. And over here, 5-1 charging into Koan Riders and getting some really good damage against this rather expensive Lizardman cavalry, though they are getting hit by the blinded effect with their melee stats nuked, actually getting roughly the same level as the Koan Riders. And that is a big problem there, as they pretty much rely on their melee stats to overwhelm their enemies, not weapon strength or other stuff. We have Piercing Bolts of Burning onto the Koan Riders and doing some really good damage. A quarter of their HP gone. Over here, the single entities continue to duke it out. The problem is that there's only one Quato left in the fight. And my god, it's not gonna win against two single entities like that. More banishment on the ground, not doing a whole lot of damage. These blow darts are firing into whatever units, whatever targets they can find, and yeah, I don't see how the High Elves can bring this one back. Their main units, the Alastar is really depleted, same goes for the Fireborn. All that's left for the High Elves are honestly just Caradrian. Wait, sorry, for the Lizardmen. Sorry, I'm not sure how the Lizard. Wait, the Lizardmen is doing fine actually. I'm not sure how the High Elves can bring this one back. The Slime Mage, oh, actually, yeah, the Slime Mage Priest is getting hunted down by Caradrian with nothing nearby to take him down. That might be a problem. All these Koan Spear Riders and Riders are very depleted from earlier battles. Yeah, I don't see any. There are two very, very depleted units of Koan Spear Riders still on the field. And will it be enough to take down Caradrian? We shall see. Alastor White Lion diving down, trying to break away some skink cords. Piercing Bolts take like 3 times the time to fall than Searing Doomlow. Yeah, it's an expensive spell. It's a blue rarity spell, by the way. So it is 1, expensive in terms of money, and 2, expensive in terms of points. So it's expensive in terms of Winds of Magic, I mean. So yeah, it's
I'd rather just bring a Lore of Metal and Searing Doom. It's the best bombardment spell in the whole game. But yeah, it looks like this blob of troops, this blob of skinks are driven back, terrified, even by the Sea Elemental and Caradrian being terror-causing monsters. And the Bastiladon are left at the back there to fend for itself. Nothing really in place to help them. Alasta just sitting in the forest, hiding away, knowing that if he returns to the battlefield and gets shot by the Bastiladon, he's probably gonna rout. Oh, never mind. He has activated Alastar there. And Alastar will be coming back to the fight. Maybe? It's a big maybe there. Reminds me of Slanesh Falling Glass Shards, except that doesn't do proper damage. It does do good damage. The problem is it dispersed over too big of an area. And not having, like, and with too random pattern of projectiles. It's like, it's way too random. It's not there are two different random ones. It's just the random drop of shards are too. It's too random. And it doesn't have consistent damage. No predictable damage from the spell. But yeah, it looks like the High Elves are slowly losing. Well, slowly winning here actually, as they're cleaning up the enemy skinks with their monsters, with their mobility. Alastar there slowly pushing, yeah, slowly driving everything off. Despite being so weak, there's nothing really to there's nothing really to stop him from chasing routed units. While the Lizardmen, they are all out of resources to stop those single entities. Slime Priest is running desperately for his life on his scooter chair, but unfortunately there's nothing to really distract or even stop Caradrian. I could guess some returning Fireborn, but it's too little too late. It's too spread out. Yeah, it's the range, the area, it's too large, but not consistent enough with the shark falling. But yeah. Let's see, very good damage from Caradrian, but mostly just about Caradrian. The Silverin Guard did pretty decent. Standing their ground and grinding down monsters and cavalry. And any skinks that tries to fight them will just get grind down in front of a staunch line of spears with their shield wall and pointy sticks poking into their heads. And Sea Elemental Fireborn did some decent damage value, but that's about it. While on the other side, the Lizardman there, Blow Dots. I don't know how good Blow Dots is in this kind of situation there. If they're shooting at a Sea Elemental, it blocks 50% of their damage because the physical and missile resistances. Shoot at Caradrian, well, he's mounted and he's moving around, and you don't have the best accuracy onto this guy. Everything else might just be too far for the Blow Dots to reach, probably. But yeah, they did some decent value. Not good enough to win, but still decent for the rather dirt cheap unit there. Coan Riders, some of them did well. No, actually, all of them didn't do well. Didn't even earn back their worth. Getting stuck on enemy infantry, and yeah. But Bastiladon did some good damage though, with the laser beams and a Slimish Priest of high magic. Wait, 2,600 gold worth of damage value? I didn't even know you're doing that much damage. Alright, sorry, I'm gonna jump back in. I definitely missed out on paying attention to that bit. Excuse me for a second. I'm gonna speed run this one with a fast forward though, so you don't have to stuck in this replay for too long. Oh, Soul Quench. That's what's been killing
That's what's been killing Alistar. But yeah, I don't think Bastillodon Solar Engine is necessarily a good pick here, to be honest. Alright, yeah, I forgot about Bound Banishment doing some really good damage, and what else? Soul Quench. Alright. Wait, what were they doing? Were they just walking into the spears? Oh no! They're just gonna... No. No, don't just issue a taking order like that. They're pushing through their enemies, but they're just getting poked down without fighting back. No! They're taking so much damage. Oh no. Alright, yeah, Lester just got killed by a combination of single entities there. Well, not really combination of single entities, but more like Core and Cav, and the Quattle and blow dots and stuff, I suppose. But still not as great versus Archer Boxers. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, those. Wait, oh, right. Those are Ko-1s, not Ko-1. Ko-1 Riders are honestly kind of shit. High of A tier faction, they make your opponent forgot how to play. The real off meta picks there. But yeah, Firebond duking it out against Ko-1 Riders, but ooh, that's not gonna be a pretty fight for the Ko-1 Riders. But yeah, Ko-1 Spear Riders getting stuck in the middle of a bunch of spears, and yeah, the Ko-1 Spear Riders are just constantly taking a lot of attrition damage fighting spears or getting stuck on spears, and yeah. That was unfortunate. While the Quattle is left to dry against two powerful melee combatants. Again, forgotten Ko-1 Spear Riders. Oh, and there goes a Quattle getting sniped by Caradrian. I almost thought it's the Soul Quench that finished it off, because there was a Soul Quench a little bit earlier, but yeah. Elemental powers is still quite even at this point, but it's just how do you, as the Lizardman, how do you finish off Caradrian? There's no good ways to kill Caradrian either than trying to use Fireball. Soul Quench. Soul Quench would be a better choice, but the Soul Quench were directed towards the Sylvan God. And once Caradrian closes in, you can't use Soul Quench anymore. Alright, that's it for this one. Moving on. And the Tempest, I don't think I really see much Tempest in this fight. Yeah. But yeah, the Tempest would explain as well. I think I missed out on the Tempest, honestly, but yeah, it's fine. Oh, Tempest would have been neat there as well. Oh well, anyways. Kislev versus... Let me just check if we have any duplicate replays as well. Don't want to have extra replays that we cast multiple times. I don't think so, actually. And we have more replays coming in. No, I think that's all the replays we received. So yeah, that is all we're getting for tonight. We're gonna go through all of them, but yeah, let me just check if there are any duplicates. I don't think so. Good. And we don't have a lot of duplicate matchups of the same factions, since we do have enough people, and yeah, not a whole lot of people don't have to play against the same faction all the time. Yeah, next up we have Kislev versus Slaanesh. This might be a fast one. We shall see. As Phoenix King here, going with a front line of great weapon armored Cuirassiers, 4 wing lances, 4 horse archers, and Darina Catarrh, a fairly simple style of an army. While Slaanesh going with Forsaken Devoted Marauders with Hell Scourges, and Forsaken, wait, hold on, these are Fiends of Slaanesh, and Hell Riders as Hell's Riders, and some more Fiends, and more Hell's Riders. So yeah, quite fast and brutal rush build with a lot of armor piercing in the form of Fiends. Prince Sigvald the Magnificent leading the army with Chaos Saucer of Shadows, with Malkov's Pit of Shades and the Rod of Torment to just bomb enemy units. A ton of mobility in the form of more Hellstriders and a couple more Marauder Horsemen. One of them, the Regiment of Renowned Riders of the Mighty Serpent. And I think that's about it for the army build. Now let's get the battle started there. Gotta fast forward a bit. Both sides are quite far away from each other, and they're just slowly pushing up their infantry to match the opponent's formations and whatnot. Alright, slow. Okay, go back to normal speed, slow down, and yeah. Great Weapon Armored Corsairs are standing their ground, just poking down the enemy units with their missile fire and winged lances, rolling in with a charge, breaking the charge of the Forsaken and Marauders, and trying to buy some more time for those Armored Corsairs to use up their ammo. These Horse Archers, for some reason, charge into melee. Oh no, what are you doing? At least I guess they got the enemy Marauders to turn around, allowing the pistols to shoot into the flanks of the Devoted Marauders, but that was a big mistake, throwing in the Horse Archers like that. And Pit of Shades onto the Great Weapons Armored Corsairs as they try to charge into melee there. The Forsaken already running out of health as Zarina Katarine and her Frostworm, plus a bunch of Winged Lances running down this armored infantry of the Chaos Army. But on the flanks, things might be going in favor of Slaanesh, as their Hellstriders are able to catch up to their opponents there. And remember, they do have poison, so as soon as they catch up to their opponent, there's nothing can escape their grasp, due to the fact that one, they're one of the fastest, probably the fastest ground cavalry in the entire game, and two, poison slows their opponent. So yeah, you can see the the Winged Lances down to 71 speed. They are not going to escape the grasp of those Hellstriders. A bit of a Ice Maiden's Kiss to try and chip them down. But yeah, you can see on the far side, Horse Archers, 78 speed versus the 100 of the Hellstriders. They are getting in. And they are not getting away and constantly just getting dragged down. Winged Lancers in the middle as well, bogged down by Forsaken and Fiends of Slaanesh. Deathfrost attempting to drain down the enemy monsters, because you don't want to bother draining Prince Sigvald. That's exactly what he wants. That sounds wrong, but we're going to keep rolling with that. And yeah, things are slightly in favor of the Slaanesh army already, as you can see. The front line of most of the front line of the middle section of the front line is, never mind, actually the Armored Corsairs are still holding strong, but the problem is that the Fiends, the Hellstriders, are compromising the enemy's mobility. Especially these Winged Lances are now broken and routed. The fact that they got caught earlier by those Hellstriders means that they would never be able to run away, unless something's trying to screen for them. But there is no such thing right now, because all those Great Weapon Corsairs, Armored Corsairs are occupied, and just not being able to free up to help out the other cavalry units and whatnot. But your Horse Archers will be taking on the job as a melee mobility, doing some cycle charging even, trying to whittle down those Fiends of Slaanesh. But Hellstriders, being an actual melee cavalry, will definitely win the fight if they charge in. And on top of the Riders of the Mighty Serpent, oh no, they're just backing up. They're just pulling up to shoot at the enemy units there. Ice Maiden Kiss chipping away some of their health, not doing a whole lot due to their relatively high HP, low mortal count and whatnot, compared to infantry units. Well, high HP per model. Prince Sigvald is just chilling, very healthy, while both sides have suffered high levels of attrition. Seems like the Slaanesh army is faring a little bit better there. The caster, the caster is taking quite some damage, but yeah, overall there's still quite a few Forsakens left, and still one very relatively healthy skirmishing cavalry. While on the side of Kislevites, there's only an almost completely depleted Winged Lances. The infantry is not holding up too well there. Rod of Torment once more dropping onto these Kosovar dervishes and doing a good chunk of damage onto them. Now Sigvald and the Chaos Saucer are rushing in, trying to 2v1 Zarina. Let's see, do they have Soul Feeder? No, they don't have Soul Feeder. So I guess there's no healing for the Chaos Saucer of Slaanesh. Not that it needs that much, usually, but yeah. It's still nice to have it, but I guess they're... Phoenix King... Oh, wait, sorry. I guess, the Slaanesh army ran out of funds. Oh shit, where did my ear... Hold on. I accidentally dropped my ear... phone's, like, plug thing. So I can't hear... Yep, sorry. Sorry, just picking it up. You know the earbuds have this plastic thingy that sometimes will fall off. Yeah, I dropped that because I accidentally tucked on my earphone and earplugs and yeah, it just fell off. Anyways, Darina Katarine is cycle charging around the infantry, doing some decent damage with the charge impact. Although Prince Sigvald is going to be a tough customer in this kind of late game scenario, and Kislev just seems to have a solution to this problem here. There's still some tattered skirmishers, missiles, hybrid units remaining, but I don't see how they kill Prince Sigvald. I don't see how Katarine can kill Prince Sigvald either, on her own at least. Psycho charging might work, but Sigvald, a tough nut to crack. Even psycho charging might not be enough there. But yeah, Katarine having that mobility advantage did manage to catch up to the Chaos Saucer and chill it up. Not enough to kill it off yet, and Prince Sigvald is just constantly nearby, harassing Katarine from behind. And yeah. Riders of the Mighty Serpent being sallied forth to just clear out the enemy tattered units, including some skirmishers on the far side earlier. Now Prince Sigvald is all and truly alone, as Darina Katarine has managed to rout off that saucer. Oh no, the army ability! Narcissism! Pinning down Darina Katarine, allowing Prince Sigvald to catch up, and I think that might just be army losses as the flag flashes white. The only slow Slaanesh shy unit ever. Poor Sigvald spends every match just chasing people being too slow to catch anybody. He finally catch up though, but only because of narcissism. So yeah, life of Prince Sigvald. Just a lot of leg day. Great cycle charging from Phoenix King earlier, getting some decent value from those winged lances, but unfortunately, the horse archers are just not fast enough to escape from the grasp of the Hellstriders. They're too fast. Hellstriders are too fast. They have more base speed than the base speed of the horse archers, and on top of that, if they land a single hit, they poison. So, I wouldn't kite against Slaanesh. One, I'm not confident enough for I'm not confident enough myself to play with all that micro, and two, it's just rough, man. Slaanesh have so many ways to catch up with your horse archers. Like there's rampage, there's narcissism, there's enraging abilities, content effects, there's poison, and units way faster, and it's rough. It's rough kiting against Slaanesh. I would not want to imagine that. Forsaken did well, smashing up those poor great weapon armored Cossars. The armored Cossars aren't that armored anyways, less than 100 armor. So the Forsaken was able to get some decent value. Fiends did okay, pretty meh actually. Hellstrider is one of them two of them did really well. The third one did alright. I assume these two that did really well were on the flanks and were able to just flank around and chase down enemy units like the winged lances and the horse archers. Next up, Grand Cafe versus Skaven, and we are seeing Yuan Bo with an Astromancer. They're probably boxing again. Peasant long spears as the front line, or maybe not boxing, just wait, no, hold on. Oh wait, never mind. Thought I saw something, but I saw it wrong. Never mind. Front line of Peasant Long Spears. It's not boxing, it's just a bunch of single entities here. Dominating the Iron Dragon Astromancer, coming in with Wind Blast to use that wind struck to slow down enemies, I assume. And other than that, a Fire Rain Rocket Battery there, Emperor's Crowman, with more Crowman in the skies to do some aero unit harassment, and also the Moon Bird, the Great Moon Bird, to provide some more single entity fighting power outside of the Terracotta Sentinel and Zhao Ming himself. On the ground, some Peasant Horsemen as mobility. What does Zhao Ming have for spells? Only Dragon's Breath, since he can't use any other spells in the dragon form anyways. For the Skaven army, a front line of Skaven slaves backed up by some warp grinders in case they need to lock down the back line and deny enemy from escaping, while buying time for Red Ogres and Doom Flayers to jump in and help. There are also some Ashen Triads, great units to kill off enemy cavalry if they get a charge. They're more like an offensive halberd unit. They can't take a charge because of how glass cannon they are, but they can deliver a charge with decent damage value, as their melee attack stats plus bonus versus large. It's pretty decent. Yeah, that's the main arm. Yeah, no, hold on. Red Ogres, there are some Wolf Rats with poison, Dwarfing Manus, and leading army Gorage and Ashen Sorcerer supporting a Gracier of Plague with Wither, Vermintide, and Warp Storm Scroll to lock down these skies and deny enemy from flying in. I don't see how they can benefit from that though, because of the lack of missiles. Like, you can lock down enemy in the skies with Warp Storm Scroll, but as long as they can't land, you can't hit them. But yeah, firing rocket batteries are raining fire upon the warp grinders, missing a whole lot as per usual. I'm still salty about the Dreadquake Mortar not hitting anything for jack shit. So yeah, good on you for scratching some of these warp grinders, I guess, firing rockets. Anyways, on the far side, we are seeing some flyers diving down. Furies jumping onto the ground, onto the Red Ogres, and with Zhao Ming. Oh wait, sorry, not Furies. That was a Crowman. Zhao Ming jumping in, terrifying away those Skaven slaves and Red Ogres. A very quick early break there, and that's a big win for the Grand Cathay. Just making sure to get rid of one of the great high mass units, which Skavens really will be in need of, as their armor piercing will be quite handy against those single entities there. But that's not gonna happen there. Moonbird dropping in that Vortex ability, forgot what it's called, Moon Flare, straight onto these Ashen Triads, being a low HP per mortal unit, and also rely on physical resistance to protect themselves. Suddenly, the Skaven slaves. Wait, hold on. Where did? Yeah, the Triads are routed. Damn, that was a quick one though. Firing rockets firing into the front line, and the Skavens are trying to reinforce the middle of their formation, with more units coming back in from the flanks. Gorich jumping into his back line there, punching down Peasant Long Spears with the help of the Skaven slaves, forcing back those Peasant Horsemen and whatnot. But yeah, the big menace really is still Zhao Ming and all the flying units, roaming around the battlefield, picking off and pushing away all those routed Skavens, making sure they never come back again. Dwarfing Menace tries to pursue after those crowmen and save their brethren, but it's a bit rough. Everything is just running for the hills, and the Dwarfing Menace doesn't have enough speed to keep up all the time. Just slowly catching up, yes, but keep up, no. Excuse me, sorry about that. Grey Seer is duking it out against Zhao Ming with a bunch of warp grinders nearby, and that's not great for the Grey Seer for sure. He's not a combat character, and all the Skaven slaves and oh, Ashen Triads got hit by a Dragon's Breath, looks like. Yeah, the Grey Seer does not want to be too involved in melee, not against another competent melee combatant at least. Wait, where's the oh, the Astromancer is just at the back there, chilling. Dropping spells in here and there, I guess, but yeah, a little bit of a Warp Quake and Seismic Snare from that. Wait,
from the Warp Grinder, they're trying to lock down the vicinity and drain down enemies' health, but not a whole lot of damage done to the single entities. And the Crowman joined in late, so didn't take the full brunt of the damage either. Onyx Crowman continues to fly away and chase after those Ashen Triads, but at this point, Skavens will be throwing in a towel, seeing that all their damage output units, their good damage dealers, have been broken off. All that's left for them is a almost dead. Yeah, it's a pretty stuck Grey Seer between a lot of armor-piercing units. And yeah, GG. Not a whole lot of damage from the Red Ogres there, being jumped by those Onyx Crowmen, and neither did the Triads did much. A bit late to respawn, and pretty far away from the front line as well. Well, they don't have any artillery to counteract the enemy artillery, getting hit by spells. Crowmen very nicely shutting down a lot of their good units. And yeah, the Skavens just don't have the resources to react to all these single entities and flyer units. Probably should have left the Red Ogres and Wolf Rats further at the back and tighter in the formation, closer to the center. Probably would have helped. But yeah, unfortunately the characters didn't do a whole lot in this battle for the Skavens. Well, Jarming did pretty well. Astromancer did meh. Onyx Crowman gets some decent value overall. And yeah, that's the MVP of the Grand Cafe army, really. A lot of the units are just too far away, and yeah, not able. Were they not able to help the Grey Seer of Plague? Sorry, I'm just gonna quickly. No, we've seen that. Just quickly fast forwarding through the battle myself and see what. Just check some stuff out. Excuse me for a second there. Firing rockets, stuff flying in. Yeah, there's too much terror on the field. The Skavens doesn't just constantly getting broken off. This was a big win in the early game, routing off, shattering the Red Ogres. And oh, the Skavens were spread too wide and too fragmented as an army. Just not having the units in place to help out. And then the Grey Seer was stuck. Oh yeah, Wind Blast onto the Ashen Triads, doing some really good damage too. That was a quick game. Yeah, the Skavens spread too far apart, and the Grand Cafe was able to concentrate their forces and just pick it off apart bit by bit, which was unfortunate for the Skavens for sure. All right, next up we have nope, we've seen that. We're not seeing that. Like, wait, no, hold on, we haven't seen that. We've seen the round 4. Wait, no, we haven't seen that. We've seen a replay between, yeah, these two, but we haven't seen the replay between Vampire Coast and Nurgle. Let me just fire. Let's go, Pentabloat! Pentabloat! We have mortars, we have gun crabs. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun one. Wait, is that? Yeah, that's mortars, not Queen Bess. Alright, for the army builds here, Nurgle is going with a blob build. A lot of Plague Bearers, 3 of them Plague Bearers with Exalted Plague Bearers with Death Heads. And then the rest are Plague Bearers, some Marauders of Nurgle,
And in the skies, a ton of Furies and the Angels of Decay. Leading the army is the Chaos Sorcerer, Lord of Nurgle. And yeah, that's it for army builds for the Vampire Coast, the front line of zombie powered deckhand mobs. Pentabloat. Yeah, Pentabloat is on the field. Shade Wave Gunners, which is very good against enemy infantry. Although they're shooting at the Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle for some reason. Auto fire shenanigans, I guess. And then Deck Gunners to chip away enemy units. I guess they're not really bothered about shooting at the infantry since they can just Pentabloat them. As the Pentabloat are moving up, the problem is, can they reach their targets? Or will the Angels of Decay or the Chaos Sorcerer... Oh, wow! The Shade Wave Gun is lighting up that Angels of Decay. Oh, boy. That's a lot of damage. But yeah, oh, no. The Chaos Sorcerer Lord just coming in, popping these bloated corpses one by one. Like they're... Oh, no! Oh, there's Nestle's Net. Nice stuff. Just pinning down the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. Alright, but let me just slow down things a bit there. I forgot to cover the rest of the Vampire Coast army. We have a bunch of gun crabs, one of them, the Lamprey's Revenge, mortar unit, and Sheriff Gun is already getting charged by the Furies, although these Furies here is taking a lot of damage. Either from Sheriff Gunners or from the gun crabs, I suppose. Furies diving down, trying to shut down the deck gunners, but being near the Morghuls, the Night Terrors, and the Rotting Prometheans, the deck gunners are being protected before they completely getting wiped out. Alright, back to normal speed as the Pentabloat's coming in. The Plague Bearers are trying to run away, but they're not fast enough. Alright, can this get a 2-for-1? No, just getting part of the Plague Bearer. So I don't think the Pentabloat earned back their worth, honestly. Are there more bloats on the field? Or have they been blown up without me seeing them? Or oh wait, no, they might be a triple blow. Either way, there are no more bloats on the field, so we're back to the usual normal battles now. One of the Plague Bearers is heavily damaged due to one of the bloats. The other also took some damage, but not as insane. Shade Wave Gunners, stop shooting at the freaking Lord! Shoot at the infantry! You need to stop the Festering Stooges. You need to delete the Festering Stooges and stuff. Stop shooting at the... Oh no. Anyways, more Furies are coming in, this time gunning for the Shade Wave Gunners. And I think a Fury blew one up. Oh, that might explain why some of the Furies are quite damaged. That makes sense. But yeah, Shade Wave Gunners once again targeted by the enemy Furies, and they're... Oh no, the gun crabs are not close enough to react in time. They might actually be wiped out this time. And without the Shade Wave Gunners, I don't see how... Yeah, I don't see how the Vampire Coast can take down all these infantry. They need those Shade Wave Gunners to keep shooting down the Exalted Plague Bearers. And Arena's Soul Spotlight decided to just push up, but at the same time falling victim to a crossfire of Death's Head, and already on the verge of death. And unlike the regular undead units, Arena's Assault Spite does not have any access to healing, not even Invocation of the Hag. Not that Spotify would use any, but yeah, that was not ideal. And I think there were 5 bloats. Yeah, there must have been 5 bloats. Just 2. I think it might have been the Furies dropping in and killing them off. We might have to go back, rewind, and catch up. But yeah, Arena's Assault Spite just unfortunately getting hit by Spirit Leeches, by Dev's Head, and then the Chaos Sorcerer Lord going after her. She's gonna be dead. And without their Lord, that's gonna be a massive leadership issues across the Vampire Coast army. Despite a lot of them still being decently fighty. Yeah, Arena's Assault Spite died, and then everything you can see just starts crumbling. And ooh, a Purple Sun to delete the mortar team, while everything else just gets grind down over time. The Lamprey's Revenge are trying to hold on, but the Death's Head just nailed them in the coffin. Yeah, that is gonna be GG here. Very valiant attempt once again from Spotify, but that's unfortunately not gonna work this time. And yeah, great value from the Angels of Decay, but unfortunately we're seeing Pentabloat, but the Pentabloat didn't quite work here, not earning back their worth. Quite unfortunate. Yeah, not much else to say really. It is a meme army, so there's not a whole lot of tactics involved here. Definitely could have used the Shade Wave Gunners to thin out the enemy Plague Bearers instead of trying to shoot the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle. It's more of an anti-infantry artillery, and the same goes for the regular deck gunners. So yeah, probably want to aim at the infantry to thin out their numbers and let your other units try to deal with, like, just kill off the rest of the army, right? Before bothering to deal with the Sorcerer Lord. Especially the Death's Head, Exalt the Plague Bearers. They're also expensive and valuable as a target to shoot at. Alright, Lizaran versus Slaanesh Nyx. Hold on. Oh wow, triple Terracotta Sentinel? That is a bit rough. Honestly, not looking forward to that. That's gonna be a grindy as hell single entity fight. Alright, let's go for the Lizardman versus Slaanesh first. For the Lizardman, we're seeing a full 20 stack army, 5 Skink Cohorts, 4 Skink Skirmishers, 5 more Skink Cohorts with Javelins, 2 Cohen Riders, 1 Cohen Spear Riders, and 2 Bastiladon Solar Engine, and a Blueberry Slan, which I think is a Death Slan. I forgot. I think it's a Death Slan. Let's check. It is a Death Slan with Fate of Buna, Spirit Leech, and Aspect of the Dread Knight. I'm not sure what good is this ability against Slaanesh when the whole army has immune to psychology. So we shall see here. For Slaanesh army here, a bunch of Murder Horsemen with their javelins, a front line of Devoted Marauders, Forsaken, and we have some mobility in the form of Hellstriders, the Pleasure Guard, Regiment of Renowned Champions of Slaanesh, with the Unbreakable trait, Fiends of Slaanesh, and leading the army is Mask of Slaanesh. And more Hellstriders. Pretty standard stuff. Caster is a Kill Sorcerer of Shadows, with Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma. Laser Beam from the Slow Engine, just constantly getting blocked by the vegetation here. Quite unfortunate, but that is the map of 20 Grounds. Very thematic for the 20 here. But yeah, let's fast forward a bit, as the Solar Engine is not doing a whole lot, finally getting a lucky hit on the Marauders, but other than that, not a whole lot. What is this guy do? Oh, the mask doesn't have spells, so he's just chilling at the back, while the Sorcerer goes in and baits out some Javelins and Melkoth some of those Cohen Cavalry. Laser Beam, once again missing. I'm gonna fast forward here because nothing's really happening. Oh, Mask got a little too close there, getting hit by Spirit Leech and a Laser Beam as well. Missing this time because the Mask is quite fast, using the Shanson of Caging, getting some extra speed and missile resistance there. Dodging the shots. Oh, this one hits, scratches him, but the missile resistance does help a bit. Fast forwarding a bit as the Skinks are just capturing the point, trying to force the enemy to move up and respond to it. This might be a good time for Javelins onto the Pleasure Guard, but yeah. The rest of the Slaanesh troops are also pushing in. Spirit Leech onto the Mask of Slaanesh. Remember, he does have healing abilities with the Staff of Mask. So, yeah, he can heal up despite taking quite a bit of damage. Yikes, he's actually down to half health. He is a class cannon Slaanesh character after all, but still. Forsaken is in the front line now, and they should punch their way through all those Skink Cohorts, no problem. But they're eating Javelins, so taking quite some damage in the process. While over here on the flanks, Murder Horsemen are being screened off by the Skink Skirmishers. Javelins and Blow Dots continue support into enemy formations, trying to whittle down the enemy Pleasure Guard and infantry. That's Forsaken taking quite a bit of damage, but unfortunately they have 85 armor, tanking a lot of those Javelin shots, who does lack that armor piercing. While what lacks armor though are the Hellstriders, and they're pretty much naked with Skink Skirmishers and Javelins shredding them from afar. Not that far since they're short range missiles, but yeah, still. Further than melee range for sure. And yeah, here comes the Pleasure Guard charging in once again. Punching down the Skink Corps shouldn't be a big problem for them, and the Cohen Riders are kind of stuck here, so they are the ones getting charged instead of the ones charging. Javelins pouring onto the Bastiladon Solar Engine. They do some decent armor piercing, but not enough to nuke down the Bastiladon Solar Engine. Pit of Shades onto this blob there, doing a lot of damage. to the stacked up Koan Riders and Skink Infantry, although the Pleasure Guard took quite a bit of damage. Probably Fate of Buna? I don't see anything else that can do a bunch of shock damage to the unit, honestly. But Lizardman is getting ahead in balance of power. Magic damage is useful in a pinch versus Slaanesh demons. That is true. That is true. Not a whole lot of demons on the battlefield this time, though. Just the fiends. Pleasure Guard stinging. Alright, Mask continues to run around the battlefield. Let's see. Yeah, on the far side, the Devoted Marauders are just duking it out against Skinks, and the Koan Riders are roaming the battlefield trying to hunt down the enemy mobility monsters and whatnot. While the Bastillon duking it out against the Kill Saucer of Slaanesh. Oh, the Mask is constantly getting Spirit Leech and Blow Dotted, and he's running low on health. He needs to use the Staff of Masks, and he needs to use it soon. He needs that healing. If he's still not using that healing, he might just get, he might just crumble. Yeah, he might actually just die here, or go back to the Materium. Alright, we are seeing some bound spells now. Rod of Torment, Bound Banishment getting a lot more value here. Placing onto some overlap units of Marauder Javelins and Marauder Horsemen, and the Mask goes down without using the healing. Very unfortunate for the Slaanesh player there, and yeah, and I think that's going to be snowballing into a Lizardman victory, as the Skinks were able to hold their ground, just throwing all the Javelins and Blow Darts into the incoming attacks. And using sheer numbers of Skinks to hold back the enemy mobility and Blow Darts to whittle them down. The Fiends, the Pleasure Guard all suffered heavily there, and the Hellstriders got absolutely deleted. And even the Forsaken took quite a bit of damage from the Javelins and Blow Darts, and accumulating enough damage to force them back. But Stylodon did some okay damage, nothing too insane. But the Koan Riders, Spear Riders did alright, as they have the armor piercing to punch through the Forsaken, although they didn't necessarily go after the Forsaken, I don't think. While the Slot Mage Priest, so much damage with the Fate of Buna, the Spirit Leech, and Bound Banishment. Oh boy. Yeah, that is a powerful caster for sure. The Mask unfortunately didn't use the healing. Buna was on the Hellstrider behind your camera. Oh, okay. I missed out on that. I will check this one again to see what do good damage to the Pleasure Guard and when the Buna happened. Kill Saucer of Slaanesh did some good damage with the Melkoffs and whatnot. But yeah, the Cavalry took heavy damage here, I assume, from the Buna and from all the Blow Dots and whatnot. So let me just quickly go back in and sorry about that. Just gonna go back in and check this one out once more. Alright, let's fast forward. Wait, where's the Buna? Not yet, not yet. Hellstriders, Fiends moving in, but there are just too many Skinks. They have to cut through too many bodies, and Slaanesh, being a rather expensive army, a narrow army in general, just doesn't have the numbers to go through everything. Like, they could tie down one unit and then they would just get Blow Darted to death. Look at this unit! Charging into one Skinks and all three other Skinks opening up onto it. Oh god, that's so much damage. The other Hellstriders is sitting back there, and yeah, it's just died. Spirit Leech, constant Spirit Leeches, and the Pleasure Guard going into combat. Oh, here come. No, that's a blood statue. Oh. Yeah, poison, blinded effect to lower their melee stats, and then I guess it's the blow dots and Javis. They just took a huge chunk of damage there. I don't think it's the Pit of Shades though. So it's probably the Javis or whatnot. Oh, Fate of Buna onto the Hellstriders. Yeah, that deleted the other Hellstriders. And without the two Hellstriders, there's just no mobility left for the Slaanesh army in melee. Fate of Blowpipe. That is a Fate of Blowpipe. Fate of Poison Dart. Yeah, just accumulating really good damage over time. They don't do a lot of... Excuse me, they don't do a whole lot of damage for shot. But they do have a lot of blow dots. So it adds up. It adds up over time. Alright, Grand Cathay versus Norska. Grand Cathay going with a box build. So 3 units of Onyx Crowman, one of them the Empress Crowman, and 2 Terracotta Sentinels, 5 long spears, 1 forgot the name of this regiment of renown. The Lances of Righteous Lances of Waging, yeah. Righteous Lances of Waging, and then well, let's see, yeah, long spears, and then leaving the army is a Dragon Blood Shugengan Lord, with only Dragon's Breath to thin out enemy units. On the other side, for the Norscan army, and multiple Marauder Horsemen, and it's Kurgan Horsemen as per usual, with great weapons, and then a front line of Marauder Berserkers, Spears, and Norscan Ice Trolls, trying to break through the boxes with some monstrous infantry presence, and of course, the Great Shaman Saucer, and more Kurgan Horsemen. But yeah, oh, this is not boxing, it's just a line of infantry. But yeah, the Kurgan Horsemen are gonna get harassed by the enemy flyers, Righteous Lances waiting, diving straight onto these Kurgan Horsemen and annihilating them, deleting half of a unit in literal seconds. Man, that is a glass cannon unit. And the only artillery in the field is Seitan the Watcher. I forgot to highlight this dude here. And yeah, javelins whittling down the peasant long spears with a side charge from the Great Shaman. That is an underwhelming side charge. I guess that's partly because he's in the trees, but still, damn, that's underwhelming as hell. Dragon's Breath deleting a good chunk of the Murder Spears, and also the Seitan the Watcher is doing really good damage, sniping things out, including the Ice Trolls. And now the Righteous Lances and the Onyx Crowman making Norska pay for his mistake of leaving those Kurgan Horsemen unattended. And those 2 Kurgan Horsemen on the far side will be done for. Peasant long spears are dying, but that's what they're supposed to do, while the Terracotta Sentinels are holding on just fine. More Dragon's Breath, I suppose. Oh, Nanga grenades from the Empress Crowman, blasting away at those expensive worshippers of the Mighty Serpent, riders of the Mighty Serpent. Oh wow, they actually straight up routed. That was unfortunate. Just straight up shattered. They're not coming back. No more. One skirmisher missile done for. Purple Son of Zerus from the Shaman Saucer, but is that going to be enough to turn back the tide? We shall see here, as there are only a couple Murder Horsemen with javelins left, and a couple Kurgan Horsemen. And Seitan the Watcher continues to poke away at the Great Shaman Saucer, and the spell spams continues on by the Dragon Blood Shugengan Lord. Yeah, there are too many single entities here, and Norscan is in a bit of trouble for that, as they do not have a whole lot of answers against big armored single entity units. And now Empress Crowman, Righteous Lances all diving onto this static blob of Marauder Cavalry. I think that's GG. A lot of these Marauder Cavalry Horseman units will be done for, and all that's left are the Norscan Ice Trolls and Great Shaman Saucer with the Righteous Lances, with the Crowman Psycho charging them to death. And yeah, I don't see how Norscan can win this one around, especially when more bombs are coming in from the Empress Crowman, striking down these blobbed up infantry.
with no problem at all. Oh, nice charge from the Great Shaman Sorcerer, I guess, breaking down these Onyx Crowmen, but that's about it. Like, Satan the Watcher taking a lot of damage throughout the process, though, getting surrounded by enemy infantry, I assume, and I guess maybe no Spirit Leech, but yeah, I guess being surrounded by enemy infantry. He's not the best melee fighter with only 25 melee defense now that he's kind of tired. But yeah, Righteous Lances are still having half health. Emperor's Crowman very healthy. 2 more half health. Terracotta Sentinel. They took a lot of damage over time, but if you can't finish them, they're still gonna stand there. They're not gonna rout. They might crumble, yes, but they're not gonna rout. You still have to kill them eventually. And they're not. I don't see enough DPS on the field for Noska to bring them down, especially when all these Sentinels come in, converge, and start ganging up on that poor Sorcerer. I guess they're doing some pretty good damage to Satan though. As he gets tired, he has less armor as well, taking more damage in this blob fight. Oh, the Norskins might be able to do it. Satan is going down soon. Oh no, never mind. Emperor's Crowman rear charging those Berserkers. Oh, the Berserkers are punching back so hard. Despite being charged, they are just killing these Emperor's Crowmen in a quick hurry. Holy shit! Holy shit! Those Crowmen got nuked in that fight. Got murked. Never underestimate Berserkers, I guess. They are holding on strong, and they are the biggest hope for Noska to bring this one back. I mean, the Dragon's Breath attack is not going to be great for them, still getting blasted. And the Kurgan Horseman comes back and chase down these Righteous Lances, who have been worn down in prolonged combat as they fight on throughout the battle. But yeah, now wait, is Noska making a comeback? Kurgan Horseman, the Emperor's Crowman trying to hunt down a Kurgan Horseman, and the Great Shaman Sorcerer is desperately trying to stay alive. Now the Shugengan Lord dives in, trying to shut down the enemy caster with the Berserkers continues to screen. But can they do this? Can the Great Shaman Sorcerer of Death stay alive and kill all these Terracotta Sentinel? I bet he's regretting not bringing Spirit Leech right now. Only bring Purple Son of Zerusa, and that's not going to help him in this kind of late game scenario. Here comes the Dragon Blood of Shugengan Lord and the Terracotta Sentinel pushing through those blob of Berserkers, getting hits here and there, slowly but surely chipping away the health of that Great Shaman Sorcerer. He does not have any Warrior Familiar anymore, and the Shaman Sorcerer is forced to just go back into the fight and try and duke it out against the Terracotta Sentinel. But alas, this guy is not suited to fight against multiple mighty armor-piercing single entities here. And the Great Shaman Sorcerer falls. And with that, the Marauders' leadership will be faltering for sure as the spears routes. And that might lead to a chain rout as the Berserkers are buckling as well. As the Terror kicks in, they will also soon rout. Well, no, the second spear rout, but the Berserkers hold on. Oh, they're Berserk. They're still fighting, duking it out. Actually, can they break this one back? I don't think they can, but let's see how far they can go. As one of the Terracotta Sentinel is actually going down. It's close to going down, actually. They're still 1,000 HP left due to how thick they are. Nope, never mind. The Berserkers have been routed by the Dragon's Breath, and that shall be GG there. Wait, what's still on the field? Forgotten Ice Trolls? What? You could have used that like 5 minutes ago. Dude, if the Ice Trolls were there beating down the Terracotta Sentinels while the Shaman Sorcerer was getting chased to his death, maybe I think the Norscan army would have had this one. But alas, the Ice Trolls are too cowardly to hold the late game on their own here, I don't think. Yep, there goes the Ice Trolls as they're terrified by the Terracotta Sentinel. Man, if the Ice Trolls came back earlier and helped screen the Terracotta Sentinels from the Great Shaman Sorcerer of Death, I think Norscan would have a pretty good chance to bring this one back. But they forgot about the Ice Trolls. No. Yeah, Spears did really well, and like the Berserkers had no business to do so well in this battle here. Like, they were fighting Terracotta Sentinels like 50% of the time, and they still managed to hold on pretty well, and drag down the Terracotta Sentinels themselves. The disappointing factor are the Kurgan Horsemen and the Forgotten Ice Trolls, but yeah, mostly the Kurgan Horsemen being kind of forgotten on the far side. They're losing 2 units outright, and the other 2 units also didn't earn back much value. The Murder Horsemen also didn't do a whole lot of work there. Mostly, it's Satan, the Terracotta Sentinels and the Righteous Lances carrying the day. Oh, and also the Emperor's Crowmen. Bringing victory to Grand Cafe, while Norska made a few quite lethal mistakes there, especially regarding the mobility, so paying the ultimate price there. And next up we have a Kislev versus Empire. Phoenix King there, going with a very mobile build. Well, that is a hella mobile Kislev build. 3 Akshina Ambushers, 1 Kislevite Warriors, that's all the infantry there. Getting 3 Dervishes, 4 Wing Lances, 1 Frozen Heart of Frozen Heart of Winter? Yeah, Frozen Heart of Winter Elemental Bear with, of course, Heart of Winter as the bound ability, bound spell. Kislevite Warriors stacked right on top of it with Snow Leopard and an Ice Witch of Ice Magic nearby. Just a little bit of a bloppy build with skirmishers and a bunch of mobility. Very Phoenix King-like with all that mobility and skirmishing power. On the other side, for the Empire army, there are a shit ton of halberdiers and great swords, plus spears, just a shit ton of state troops circling as a box, holding on and protecting against the mortars, the great swords in the center, and the huntsmen. Yeah, that's a lot of huntsmen. Holy shit, that's 4 huntsmen. They're really ready to hunt down big beasties, eh? And leading the army is Balthazar Gelt with final transmutation. It's gonna be really good here if Kislev decides to blob and Searing Doom, which is great against both infantry and cavalry. Yeah, that's it for the army builds here. Let's fast forward a bit there as the mortars are opening up onto the enemy infantry. They can't see the Akshina and Bushers, so all they can shoot right now are the Kislevite Warriors. And Gelt is just roaming the battlefield, trying to spot possible Vanguard deployed ambushers. But yeah, right now the Akshina ambushers immediately opening up onto the Huntsmen. Note, identifying those are the biggest threat to the Frozen Heart of Winter. Oh, Ice Maiden Kiss doing some minor damage to the enemy front line there. And with the enemy outgunning these Empire units as the mortars are being shot, Huntsmen being shot, some of the spears are actually being sent out to try and pressure the Akshina and Bushers there and try to save the Huntsmen. While Balthazar Gelt might want to come back and drop some Searing Dooms or something, or save up for a final transmutation. Here comes the Frozen Heart of Winter, and with all the Huntsmen, their attention diverted over to the Akshina and Bushers. The Frozen Heart of Winter is unopposed, slamming straight into the enemy infantry. The halberdiers taking a lot of damage, also getting breath attack, I think. Oh no, not breath attack. Did it breath attack? Yeah, it breath attack once. Doing some minor damage, but yeah, Mortars continues to fight and try to annihilate the Akshina and Bushers. Final transmutation onto the Frozen Heart of Winter. Very wise choice, but there's no blob, so unfortunately it's just not a maximized value Frozen Heart of Winter. But a very nice move from Phoenix King here, already disrupting this Empire box heavily. The Frozen Heart of Winter still have a lot of health to go, a lot of health to tank the enemy shots, and a final transmutation already shutting down a Huntsman, shutting down a mortar, punching through enemy infantry, and the Akshina and Bushers continues to whittle down the enemy Huntsman unit. Only like 1 Huntsman still online right now, and they're kind of disrupted as well, being pressured bit by bit. Now the halberdiers are activated to try and pin down the Frozen Heart of Winter. Even Gelt himself going into melee. Great Swords holding the front line there, but unfortunately they're getting cycle charged to death. Still having almost half health left. That's a shameful display. Shameful display for the Empire state troops there. And with the front line collapsing, these Winged Lancers are unstoppable, flooding into the back line. Great Swords are still being pinned down at the back. They're unable to reinforce the front line here. And the remaining Huntsman is also being shut down. Mortars being compromised. The Spears and Halberdiers are not in the position to help out. An attempted Hail Mary overcast Searing Doom was attempted to nuke down some of the Winged Lancers, but they've driven themselves so far into the formation that Searing Doom is just was hitting where they were like 5 seconds ago, and mostly missing and wasting that Winds of Magic. Quite unfortunate there. Some Huntsmen have managed to regroup and start firing back into the fray, but with so many Wing Lances and Akshina and Butchers still around, they're probably not going to have a peaceful time sitting back and firing. Balance of power is still fairly even, as the Dervishes are running out of health, and same goes for the Frozen Heart of Winter, but there are still quite a few Winged Lances on the field. I mean, they took a lot of attrition fighting Halberdiers, and that is, I always feel that the Halberdiers is like the hidden MVP of the Empire roster. Being an anti-large armor-piercing unit, that has decent leadership, that's decent melee stats, 42 melee defense after all, and can hold on and can trade really well into monsters and cavalry. I mean, the breath attack obviously annihilated them, but they can hold on fairly well, way better than Great Swords, way more cost efficient than Great Swords for sure. And the Great Swords just doesn't have any usage in this battle here, since there are no armored infantry for them to fight. Buffalo Scout though getting frostbitten, down to 40%, down to 40 speed. Wait, whoa! Oh right, yeah, the chilling aura, the same aura on say the chill guys and the Regiment of Renowned Frost Dragon. Forgot the name of that. Yeah, of the Norskin unit, but yeah, they all have the chill aura that adds another speed debuff, slowing enemies' unit movement to a halt. But yeah, right now though, the Akshina and Butchers, one is still very healthy. 2 others got hit by either. Ooh, that's a lot of friendly fire of archer fire onto your own Winged Lances, but I guess that's fine. The mortars were able to fire and thin out a lot of those Akshina and Butchers, except this one. So both sides took a lot of losses. Mortars are back online and continues to fire away, but the Halberdiers are suffering a lot of losses from those Frost Maiden Kiss. Snow Leopard getting whittled down as well. It's not exactly a tanky unit. And wait, mortars, why are you firing into the Great Swords? Don't do that. That's a lot of friendly fire. But yeah, Winged Lances once again finding a gap in the enemy formations and plunging themselves into those mortars. At least the Great Swords are nearby and try to bog them down, but the mortars are probably not long for this world, as they're wavering in terms of leadership and in HP. Frozen Heart of Winter is still around. There's no Huntsman to shut it down anymore, so yeah, things are not looking great for the Empire for sure. Balance of power is slightly in favor of, ever so slightly in favor of Kislev. And as Balthazar Gout tries to pin down the Frozen Heart of Winter, a desperate attempt to stop it from advancing. Another final transmutation to try and kill that Frozen Heart of Winter, but Balthazar Gout needs to back the hell out of there, as he's taking a lot of damage. And that remaining healthy Akshina and Butchers is gonna be the bane of all these state troops here, cutting through those Halberdiers due to their lack of shields. Yeah, what's the best way to kill a Phalanx is not to fight it at all, just shoot it from afar. And that's exactly what Akshina and Butchers are doing. Now that the mortars are offline, there's no more threats to these remaining Akshina and Butchers. Not even Balthazar Gout can kill them. And yeah, I think that's gonna be a victory for the Kislevites at this point. Breath attack onto the remaining Great Swords, and I don't think there's any more breath attacks left. Yep, that's exactly it. And yeah, and then the bear just goes in and going ham onto the spearmen on the field with Winged Lances, Lances couch slamming straight into these Halberdiers, these spears. I think we can fast forward this as the Winged Lancers are going to psycho charge all these state troops to death with a very healthy Akshina and Butchers still just firing at everything. Oh, that looks like the final transmutation still not enough to finish off the Frozen Heart of Winter. It's still fighting strong. Nope, never mind. It goes down. Is that? Oh, it's a Death Frost draining down Balthazar Gout. Balance of power is in favor of Kislev. They also have the capture point, slowly getting that tickets and slowly approaching to victory, and that's going to be army losses with victory belonging to the Kislevites. GG to both players. Very cool display of battle here. Interesting use of mortars and huntsmen, but unfortunately Great Swords just don't have any purposes here if your opponent doesn't bring armored Corsairs. So even if they bring armored Corsairs, it's not your best bet to kill them. I wouldn't bring Great Swords in most situations. They are too they're too crappy as an infantry. They're expensive and they are too specialized on one thing and one thing only. And even then, they're not even that good at doing the one thing they're designed for. So I honestly would not bring the Great Swords in any situation. Like they are just crap, man. Just don't bring it. It's not worth it. Like just don't do it to yourself. So yeah, actually Ambusher is doing pretty well, but damn, that Frozen Heart of Winter being a distraction, being a great disruptor, slamming into the enemy box, the Empire army just does not have any mass to pin down a big, a hulking single entity like that. And then the Wing Lancers were able to push in and disrupt and shut down the enemy missiles. And then, yeah, Balsar Gal's final transmutation did well. But yeah, the Halberdiers were trying their desperate best to desperately trying their best to hold the line, but the line was not held as all the great swords and spears just buckled there. And then the Halberdiers are finished off by AoE damage. Mortars did alright. Barely earning back their worth, barely only. So, not ideal, but they could have done a lot more work against the Akshina ambushers, but unfortunately the Akshina ambushers have stock, which means the mortars can't fire at them early. So that leads to a victory of the Kislevites in the end. Alright, that is gonna be Skaven versus Lizardmen. And the Skavens are coming in with a lot of 3 Poison Wing Globadies, 3 Ashen Triads, which is a unit I quite like among their roster. Although, how good are they going to be in this case, we shall see, as there's not a whole lot of armored large targets for them to fight. Let's slow down a bit. We are seeing, for the Skaven, the front line of Clanrat Spears, backed up by a bunch of Action Triads, Poison Gloves, a bunch of Red Ogres, and Doom Flayers. We are also seeing some Wolf Rats with Poison. Leading the army is Snitch, and we shall see how good is he in this battle. It seems, I think the replay was called Snitch OP. Spellcasting support Plague Priest with Pestilent Breath and Vermintide, and some Doom Flayers as well. And yeah, that's it for the army builds. For the other side of the battlefield, we have Skink Cohorts on the front line there, and we are seeing Skink Cohorts with Javis backing them up with some fire support, Skink Skirmishers, and that's quite a bit of Skink Skirmishers. Just 2, well, not a whole lot, but 2 Skink Skirmishers on the side to counteract the enemy possible Night Runners and Hound shenanigans. In the skies, Pterodon Riders with Fire Leech Bolas, with a bunch of Koan Riders and Court of Soltec, more Koan Riders on the ground. So let's see if this Fire Leech Bola attempt would work, and if Snitch would do anything here with the Ashen Triads. Fast forward a bit, as there's a solar engine already opening up at the Poison Wing Globes, doing some minor damage. Not doing a whole lot, honestly, but yeah. Skinks charging into Clan Rats. Both sides are gonna wet noodle each other in the fight, but Ashen Triads, they do not want to fight Skinks. It's not a good use of their HP, but Snitch is gunning straight after the Slime Age Priest, and there are no units nearby to stop him. Oh, Deathmaster Snigil. Deathmaster Sigil. Sorry. Snigil. Snitch. Pinning down the Slime Age Priest, denying him from running away. And Snitch was able to do a lot more damage. And on top of that, some Ashen Triads are able to catch up onto the Slime Age Priest. And now the Deathmaster is right between the Slime Age Priest and safety. Poison Globes are firing in and try to thin out the enemy's Skink Quartz, and oof. What did he use? Wait, hold on. Snitch probably did use his Beyblade ability. It does so much damage. You can see all these dead Koans and Skinks nearby. He probably used his Beyblade. Yeah, the wire of Weeping Blades. It kills a constant. It has a very small area of effect, but it has really high damage. And it kills a shit ton of units stacked up around him. So that deleted the Koan Riders. And there are not enough units between the Slime Age Priest and Snitch to save the Lizardman caster. All these Red Ogres are being forgotten as Snitch is just completely concentrated on soloing the Slime Age Priest.
And there's still no units coming in to bail out the Slime Mage. Like, I would at this point just send in those Skink Cores and try and melee the Death Master. Oh no! They have them on range mode attack. They are not in melee mode. The melee Skinks are coming in, but it might be too late. Oh, yep, the Slime Mage Priest barely made it out by the skin of his teeth, but he is at only 88 HP. I don't know if he's gonna be... Oh no! Snitch just continues ignoring those Skinks and still going after the Slime Mage Priest. Slime Mage Priest only have 31 speed, while the Death Master has 41. It's more than, even if he's poisoned, it's more than enough to catch up to the Slime Mage Priest of High Magic. And oh shit! Oh no! Death Master didn't kill the Slime Mage! It's the Blow Dodge and Jabbies! They killed... That's the ultimate... I'm gonna pause this for a second, because that's the ultimate treason for the Skinks. Like they're like, oh yeah, you know what? The Slime Mage Priest is gonna die. The very venerable, well-respected Slime Mage Priest is gonna die. But it's alright, we're just gonna get... Because we're gonna land a couple more Javelins onto Death Master. But, yeah, no, the Slime Mage just died there to their own Blow Dot. He could have made it out. He could have... I mean, he probably couldn't... He probably would have been killed by Snitch, but... It doesn't change the fact that the Skinks killed him. Or maybe it's... They're going through the line of thought of... Rather than letting him die into the hands of a filthy Skaven, we're gonna kill the Toad ourselves. Snitch just walking through my guys like he has more mass than a dragon. Yeah. Dragons would probably have issues running through those Skinks, but no. No, Snitch just goes straight through them. Yeah. And Snitch is now going to fight something else, I guess, now that there's no more Lord to snipe. And I totally ignored the rest of the battle. Sorry about that, but that was too funny to ignore Snitches doing Snitch things. But yeah, Ashen Tries and Skinks just piling on to each other, symbols for clan rats and whatnot. But the Doomslayers pull through, killing a shit ton of Skinks, and now surrounding the Basilodon Solar Engine. Court of Sotak taking a lot of damage as the Poison Wing Globadiers are nearby, just cleaning out everything else. I might actually rewatch this replay because we missed out most of the stuff outside of Snitch. But yeah, now Snitch is going in and trying to snipe out the single entity or killing the Basilodon and whatnot. But yeah, I think I'm gonna fast forward here with the Slime Mage Priest dead and most of the Skinks also being run down by Red Ogres and Doom Flayers. There's not much the Lizardmen can do to bring this one back. Fire Leech Ballolas can kill infantry, but not the Doom Flayers, not Snitch as well, and they are even struggling to kill off the Poison Wind Globes. Alright, let's just go back to check this one out again. Man, that was just unfortunate for Kuryu and his lizard boys. But yeah, remember you remember to hit F if you want to send a unit into melee. Cause I saw you using the Javelin Skinks to try and attack Snitch. The problem is they were in range attack mode, not in melee mode. So they were just standing back and shooting at Snitch instead of actually going into melee to block him. And unfortunately that did not help. Picked wrong lord for this map. That's fair. A Blueberry Slime probably would have worked better, honestly. But yeah. Honestly, it doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, Poison Wing Globes walked in and start blowing up. Oh, actually, the Cohen Riders were just getting blown up by... Oh, Wire Wind of Weeping Blade, here it goes. And every one of these Cohen Riders walk close to him and just dies immediately to all that damage he does. How much damage does it do per sec? 100 fully armor piercing damage per sec. And AoE. Like, that's enough. Like, 1 to 2 hits will be killing a cavalry model there. So, yeah. Yeah, yeah, that unit's fucked. At least the Cohen Riders are coming in to kill these Poison Globes, and the front line is pretty stagnant with the Clan Red Spears and the Red Ogres lagging behind there. But once the Red Ogres are activated, recharging these Cohen Riders and start reinforcing the front lines, the Skink starts to falter.
Fire Leech Bolas are not doing a whole lot, honestly. They're mostly just clearing out Skavens and not clearing them out fast enough. And yeah. And poor Slime Mage Priest at the back there. Yeah, Poison Wing Globes are being secured, and their armor, they have enough armor to just ignore the Fire Leech Bolas, unfortunately. And also, they don't have a lot of models, so the Fire Leech Bolas are doing very minimal damage. Holy shit. Like, even against the Skaven Horde, it's just not doing much. Damn it. It's crap. Maybe it's just crap. That's a rock drop, I think. I think that's a rock drop, and still not killing enough. But yeah. With the Rat Ogres and Doomslayers reinforcing most of these Court of Soultac, and Skinks are just getting plowed through, especially with Poisoning Globes, draining them down with the poison effect. And yeah. Probably gonna fast forward this one till the end since we've seen the rest anyways. Poor Slime Mage though. Soul Quench with those hills isn't useful. Yeah, for sure. Like, Soul Quench... I don't like using Soul Quench unless it's on an Eagle mount because of how dependent it is, like all missile spells on line of sight. So, I honestly wouldn't use it myself. So yeah, that is gonna be GG for this one. Nice damage from the Pterodon Riders with Fire Leech Bolas, but not enough to justify their investment. The Skinks, they were just sitting back. Like, I swear, either the Slime Mage Priest just treated these Skinks really poorly, or the Skinks just hate. Yeah. Like, most likely the Slime Mage Priest is an asshole and treated the Skinks poorly, because the Skinks just sit back, arms crossed. I guess they threw in javelins to try and did almost nothing to stop Snitch. I mean, they did throw in more javelins, but the javelins also directly contributed to the death of the Slime Mage Priest. Granted, of course, Snitch probably could have finished him, but still, the killing blow was dealt by the javelins and blow darts. So yeah, this Slime Mage Priest, man, he must have been a dick to all these Skinks. When the Skink Bros, who would have protected the Slime Mage Priest, just let him die and actually even killed him themselves. Anyway, Snitch did a whole lot of damage, sniped that Slime Mage Priest, very nice stuff, and also killed a bunch of Quan Cavalry with the Beyblade attack. And yeah, good work overall. Not much to say outside of well, Poison Globes did solid as usual, and Red Ogres, the armor piercing units did a lot of 384 kills on these Wolf Rats. They must have been chasing a ton of routed Skinks. Yeah, good stuff. All part of the great plan somehow. Yeah, they need to kill. You sure it's the great plan of the old ones and not great plan of Tinge? That feels like killing your own units feels like a great plan of Tinge, if anything. But yeah, next up we have Undead versus Undead, which ironically would be less boring than Undead versus Nurgle. Because at least Vampire Cows would be a little bit more dynamic with their unit choices, having some missiles available. Anyways, for the Vampire Counts here, a front line of zombies, one of them the Tithe, Regiment of Renown, just a lot more HP than your usual regular zombies. A front line of Spearmen as well, actually a second line of Spear more like, reinforced by Corpse Cart and Holy Lowstone and Balefire Corpse Cart, and then a single Banshee. I think it's a single Banshee, and Heinrich Himmler providing some passive heals. I do love his heal quite a lot. The Chaos Tomb Blade used to make a really solid healing spam build with Unholy Lodestone and the Mortis Engine, just stacking enough heal that your opponent can't kill off your units fast enough for that. Anyways, Blood Knights with Lances, Black Knights, Lances, and Barding once again. I guess it's just the cheaper version. Verrex Reavers as well. Cheaper version of your usual knights. Anyways, yeah, actually 2 Banshees. Missed one earlier. And yeah, that's it for the army built for the Undead. Wow, both sides are undead. For the Vampire Count, for the Coast, a front line of Vampire Zombie Deckhand Gunnery. Deckhand mobs, Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs, Zombie Pirate Gunnery mobs behind them with hand cannons, deck gunners. Hand cannons does a lot of firepower damage. It is basically like an Iron Hail Gunners with shittier performance, I guess. I don't know why, but they're just not as good. Oh wait, they're more expensive as well, I think. Anyways, Deck Gunners, longer range and nice damage as well. And this guy's a bunch of Felbets, just Felbets, backed up by a bunch of Lamprey's Revenge, Gun Crabs, and oh, the Bloody Reaver Deck Guards. So very solid melee core there, but the missiles do have to do enough damage to thin out the enemy melee troops for the melee core to carry the grind through the rest of the army here. There's also the Shade Wraith Gunners to thin out enemy infantry, and RNS Assault Spite with his Spearfisher's Net, and Manan's Luck. Very standard stuff. Let's get the battle into normal speed and see what happens. I don't know how good the hand cannons would be in this situation because there's not a whole lot of targets. Oh, on this map though, the line of sight is a bit awkward, I have to admit. They're aiming once again at the Corpse Scout. Stop firing at the single entities, dude! Shade Wraith Gunner is an anti-infantry unit. Just aim at the skeleton spears, thin them out, and use the other deck gunners or hand cannons to shoot up the Corpse Scout. Stop firing at the Shade. Like the Shade Wraith Gunner has a bunch of missile damage, I guess, but like it's not a. Okay, with some deck gunners firing in as well, they're doing some good damage, but just fire the Shade Wraith Gunners at the skeleton spears, man. But anyways, the counts don't have any Felbets, so they don't have to worry about Felbets ambushing the deck gunners and hand cannons or anything. But wait, why are they pushing up? Why are they pushing up? Anyways, one of the Corpse Scout is going down after all that firepower. And a Banshee is pushing straight through and try and silence those gunnery mobs, while the Blood Knights are in position, ready to pounce on the enemy back line there. Although over here, Felbets are diving onto the Blood Knights, just keeping them occupied, buying some more time for the gun lines to fire. Although the Blood Knights are coming in for a lancing charge straight into the enemy formations. Let's see if that's gonna work. They're absolutely obliterating the Felbats, but the problem are the Rotting Prometheans and the Bloody Reaver Deck Guards. They are close by, coming in to slaughter these Black Knights and whatnot. The Spearfisher's Net onto the Black Knights, pinning them down, but the Black Knights might want to start pulling out of that fight before getting hacked down by the Bloody Reaver Deck Guard. The bombs are firing into the front line, but they're not thinning out those. Oh, they're doing a lot of good damage to the zombies, actually. The type zombie does manage to push in, but the Lamprey's Revenge are pinning them down for now. So the hand cannons probably manage to volley onto the Blood Knights, but the Blood Knights still manage to get on top of these hand cannons. They're still firing in guard mode, I assume, but they're mostly silenced. Things are still quite even. It is anybody's game, but the Black Knights with lances and barding are circling around, ready to get into a rear charge as all these gun lines are exposed. The Bloody Reaver Deck Guard has been committed to the front line. They're holding back the Blood Knights earlier and also just pinning down. Whoa, you might want to pull back the Bloody Reaver Deck Guard at this point because the Black Knights are silencing those Deck Gunners. I don't wait. Deck Gunners, yeah. But at least the Lamprey's Revenge are coming back, and the zombie-powered hand cannon mobs are turning around, trying to aim at the Blood Knights. The Blood Knights might want to start turning around and shoot at these guys. Nope, they're still. Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh no, they are having a momentary lapse of micro. But anyways, the Blood Knights and Black Knights, the Verx Reavers, who does have regeneration, managed to overrun those hand cannons and are now really gonna wrap over and shut down these gun lines over on this side. All the Bloody Reaver Deck Guards are still occupied in front line by spears, by skeleton spears of all things. So yeah, unfortunately, at least the Lamprey's Revenge are pinning down the Blood Knights. Some of them still get to those hand cannons. Oh, Spearfisher's Net this time onto the Verx Reavers, but the Blood Knights are unaffected. Continues to push through. They're getting hit hard though, and taking quite a bit of damage, but they have managed to make it into melee, and the hunger they have shall start feeding them HP and getting them some extra healing as they grind through these missile infantry. Also a bit of oh wait, no invocation of the Haggards. Oh, onto these Blood Knights here, trying to keep them alive. As the
Bloody Reaver Death Guards are coming over to help out. Oh, I forgot to look at Harry Kimmler. He was in here earlier and providing healing to the Blood Knights, but now he is stuck in the Bloody Reaver Death Guard. He needs to get out of there ASAP. Zombie Summon is being dropped here, trying to get him some meat shields and try and get those Bloody Reaver Death Guards off of him. And it seems like he is slowly pushing out of that blob with zombies interrupting his pursuers. While in the front line there, the skeleton spears and zombies are slowly grinding through the deckhand mobs, but unfortunately not nearly fast enough, as the Blood Knights are all fading away. And soon, the Vampire Counts will no longer have any cavalry remaining. All that's left for them to do damage are the 2 Banshees. And Balefire Corpse card, I guess, helps, but how good would that be? We shall see. Oh wait, no, there's still the Varix Reavers. I forgot about them. They were pinned down by the Spearfishers in that earlier, and I guess went over to help out some rear charging, but they still have half health, and they are still at cavalry and can still do some psycho charging. And this is very key in the late game here. Oh, looks like the Blood Knights are back. They have stabilized their leadership. If they can receive an Invocation of Nahak, that would be huge. Or just sit next to Harry Kimmler as he is fighting somewhere and get that Chaos Tombblade healing, because Chaos Tombblade has some immense healing, 0.1% per second and +5 melee attack. If he can just fight among some deckhand mobs, that would be great. But he definitely doesn't want to risk taking any missile hits nearby as well. So that is a bit of give and take if you try to do things. Has he used his Crowd Summon? I do wonder. Crowd Summon is still in, so in a key moment. Oh no! What is he doing? He's running straight into the Bloody Reaver deck. Okay, nice. He's pulling back. But yeah, oh, looks like the Lamprey's Revenge are holding on fairly strong here. Although this Blood Knights will be fading into, well, complete disintegration, fading completely into dust, as there's no. Wait, what just happened there? Oh, and that's a case of Nagash doing almost nothing, honestly. As the zombies continue to grind through. Did you forget about your Krell summon? Oh no! The Bloody Reaver that got only a few models got through, but still managed to get on top of Harry Kimmler, and it's hacking him down. How many seconds? 2 more seconds left for the Undead Resurgent, giving him extra melee defense. Maybe gonna be helping him to survive this. But he needs to get out of there, and he needs to get out of there fast. As the Bloody Reaver that got only a few models is still enough to do a huge number on him. And now he's trying to pull out of there with the zombies distracting some of the Bloody Reaver that got. And yeah, he's just pushing out of there. The 2 Banshees are definitely getting an upper hand over Aranessa Assaults by having the armor piercing and not being a large target. So the the anti-large bonus from Aranessa won't be effective against them. And on top of that, physical resistance to mitigate most of the incoming damage. Krell Summon has been dropped onto the battlefield now. And his target seems like to be the Lamprey's Revenge. I would say Aranessa would probably be a better call, but I guess you do need something to kill off these gun crabs. And it looks like the Vampire Counts are slowly getting an upper hand. Having the ability, successfully shutting down the gun line early game is such a huge factor for them to win this one. As yeah, army losses hit for the Vampire Coast, and that shall be victory for the Counts. For Heinrich Kimmler and his knights. I guess most of the knights are whittled down, but enough of them survive till the end. Even a very healthy Varix Reaver just standing there waiting to engage again. But MVP are the Banshees. They're poking down the Lamprey's, poking down Araness Assault Spite and whatever coming their way. And wait, the Bloody Reaver that guard, they're just completely surrounded by things. And grind down by sheer numbers, I suppose. And Banshee, I guess. I didn't really see how they slowly died. Might jump back in once more to check it out, but... Oh, yeah, there's also the Balefire Corpse Guard that has not been killed. Constantly buffing nearby units with fire damage. And that probably contributed to killing the Death Gods, because the healing, the hunger from the Death Gods were halved by the fire damage of the Balefire Corpse Guard. Nice stuff there, and great work with shutting down the gun line. Unfortunately, the gun line, especially the hand cannons did well, one of them at least, getting some good shots onto the Varix Reavers and Blood Knights, I assume. But unfortunately, their range is too short, and terrain was a little bit too hilly, and they were not able to get a good shot
onto their opponent's targets. So Trail Run, unfortunately, not the greatest map for your missile plays there. Emperor's Revenge holding on till the end. But still, unfortunately, having all these armor-piercing single entities just fighting you, that was just too much for these guys. And one last battle between Nurgle and Kislev. Let's get this done. And one final battle. Nurgle not going for a grind build. 5 Pestigors, 2 Murder Horsemen with throwing axes, 3 regular Plague Riders, Pox Riders. Yeah, 3 regular Pox Riders, 1 Barons of the Bog, and 1 Angels of Decay, led by a Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle with some magic, but what? With Death Magic, Spirit Leech, and Purple Son of Zerus. Now, for the Kislevites, they are bringing... interesting! Ice Guard with Glaives. You never see these guys, but their magic ammo might be quite useful here in shooting down the enemy... in shooting down enemy demons and whatnot. Now for the main... oh, and their magic attacks, I guess it's glaives, but not really dual weapons. So it doesn't help out against stuff like Furies, but well, the magic damage does help out, but yeah. Worst case scenario, they can also go into melee and cut down enemy cavalry. A front line of Kislevite warriors supported by a Hack Witch with Malediction of Madness, which Overcast is boosting weapon damage, or normal cast is reducing enemy weapon damage. Oh, and Rampage. Okay, that I feel like the Rampage is the main thing here. But 16 winds of magic. That is that might be a bit much, honestly. I wouldn't think it's worth it. But Witch Brew here for either damaging or Overcast healing. So whichever way you want to choose. And yeah, that is going to be the spellcaster for the day. Oh, double Little Grum. Double Little Grum. Were they expecting a Kugaf build? Definitely, probably, most likely was, but there's no Kugaf here. And Griffin Legion, 3 of them. In fact, leading the army is a Druzina with that missile damage buff ability and reload skill buff. So heroic killing blow, but yeah, not the best lord in the world, but decent enough in melee. Armor piercing, he's armored himself with a, oh, that's a great weapon. No anti-large though, just a great axe. But he has his own bow and can do some of his own kiting. That's a very kitey core. Oh, well, not really kitey. They're just sitting there and shooting. But yeah, Barons of the Bog immediately under fire from the double Grom attack. And because the double Grom has a high firing arc, so they don't really care about the hilly terrain. Getting some really good shots already on the Barons of the Bog, but there are 4 whole Pox Riders. How many can you shut down? That is the real question. The Witch is firing with his the Hag Witch is firing, but yeah, it's mostly just missing due to the wonkiness of the missile. And here comes the Murder Horsemen flooding into the flanks here with Barons of the Bog also charging in. But these are Ice Guard with Glaives, and they should be able to fight back decently against the Barons of the Bog. Now the Pox Riders plus the Pestigors are overwhelming the Kislevite front line. They are still holding, but how long can they hold? We shall see there. Barons of the Bog already on the verge of already collapsing, fading back into the warp there, while the Ice Guards continue to hold strong, having the Griffin Legion to reinforce and just pinning down that Chaos Sorcerer Lord. He's not having a good time here at all, as the Druzina is also in the fray, using his melee attack, armor-piercing melee attack to his advantage. Wait, what are you doing, Angels of the... Oh, Angels of the Decay getting Rampage and rampaging onto the ground. That is unfortunate. Just getting dragged onto the ground, and now they're stuck in melee against a bunch of Griffin Legion, a little bit of Witch Broods, thinning out some Pestigors as well to help these, to buy some more time for the Kislevite Warrior. And Griffin Legion cycle charging in the front line. And seems like the Pox Riders are really struggling to break through all those Kislevite Warriors. Some of them managed to push through, but the little Grums are still online, firing as well, and picking off Pox Riders one at a time, maybe multiple at a time, depending on the angle of fire. The Druzina, unfortunately, is getting stuck in a bunch of Pestigors. Good luck. Well, never mind. They do have the Tears of Nurgle, but it has worn off, and he is back to normal speed again, trying to drive away those annoying throwing axes. The Ice Guards also firing in and trying to thin out the enemy skirmishers. Spirit Leech continues to just, you know, drain down the Hack Witch, trying to eliminate the Kislev spell support there. But yeah, the Nurgle army is not in great shape. Some Pesticles regrouped, but most of their troops are quite tattered, while the Griffin Legion was still pretty much unchallenged on the battlefield. They have taken some damage, but they still have a lot of steam left to go. Okay, actually one of the Griffin Legion is dead. Wait, no, all three are still online, just taking some damage, but overall they're still performing very well. Having the reinforcement of the Kislevite warriors just keeping them alive just fine. Now the Drazina, seeing that the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle is alone, he's going after this Chaos Blessed champion. Well, not really champion, but Lord. And despite the size difference of their horses and the actual person, I guess it really is about who is the bigger man in spirit. Because this smaller man in physic is actually chasing this Sorcerer Lord away. And the Sorcerer Lord does not dare to even tussle with him in melee. Now the Kislevite warriors are returning to the center there. And with still some healthy Griffin Legion roaming the battlefield. They're running away from the Pox Riders, just finding openings to charge into, and seeing these Pox Riders are sitting idly, they charge in. There's some really good damage. Oh no! The Pox Riders got a movement order, not an attacking order. So they didn't actually charge the Griffin Legion, and instead got charged and took a shit ton of damage there. That was unfortunate. And Kislevite warriors coming in to reinforce as well, and these Pox Riders are done for. These Pox Riders charging in from the flank and might be able to do some good damage, but it's too late for their friendly... Oh wait, no, these Pox Riders actually managed to stabilize their leadership. However, the other Griffin Legion and Kislevite warriors is able to pick off and chase down routed and retreating Nurgle units like these routed Marauder Horsemen there, hunting them down bit by bit. Although this time the Drazina is actually caught by the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. After all, he does have healing, while the Drazina doesn't have any. And taking quite a bit of damage, getting shot by, I assume, some of the Angels of Decay as well. Looks like they're... Oh yeah, their focus fire is on the Griffin Legion. And Spirit Leech draining down the Drazina. So the Drazina will just use up his last bit of HP standing there and shooting down those Angels of Decay, trying to thin out the enemy, miss out as much as possible. It looks like while the Kislevites were able to earn an upper hand in the early game, not having healing to keep their lord healthy, and the tenacity of Nurgle is slowly dragging down all their mobility, especially the Throwing Axes keeping that one Griffin Legion busy, and the Pesticles out trading Kislevite warriors, and Pox Riders holding on till the late game there. And that might just be army losses there, with Nurgle holding on till the end to victory. Sorry, I'm gonna jump right back in to check this one out again. Because I wanted to see where was the turning point of this battle. Because, yeah, like the Kislevites got a pretty good start, I would say. But somewhere through somewhere after the halfway, things starts going downhill for them. And I didn't even pay attention to when the Ice Guard got knocked out. Like, they were fighting just fine till mid-game, but then they were just gone when I remembered myself. Oh wait, there's an Ice Guard somewhere. But yeah, Spirit Leech on Spirit Leech onto Hack Witch. Spirit Leech eventually finished off the Hack Witch, and as a result, the Chaos Sorcerer Lord was able to divert the remaining winds of magic onto draining down the Drazina. All right, keep fast forwarding. The Ice Guard was firing. Theoretically, they would out-trade the Murder Horseman, but the Murder Horseman does have shields, 15%, a 30% of a block chance, and they are simply way more healthy. So the Pestigors and the Pox Riders did overload the Kislevite warriors, despite them holding desperately at the beginning, and with Bar Blood effect helping them out. And once they broke through, they seems to be
they managed to catch up to the Griffin Legion with nothing to screen for the Kislev cavalry and slowly dragging them down with the armor-piercing attacks and poison. You can see the balance of power is in favor of the Kislevites. But then the Pox Riders jumps in and oh no, the Griffin Legion, they were just constantly running away. They were not turning around to fight. That spelled their doom. They did not have enough speed to get rid of the Pox Riders, being constantly poisoned and whatnot. Now these Pox Riders are slowed down because of the frostbite attacks of the Ice Guard, but then once they go back to normal speed with poison and a little bit of a charge attacking bonus, they were just constantly dragging down those Griffin Legion. And the Griffin Legion were not fighting back, they were just running away. They could have just turned around and fight and they would have still win the fight. No, but instead they're just constantly running away and getting dragged down. Oh, pain. And the little Grom with a lot of balance of power rested upon these artillery. Just didn't have any, just weren't able to fight due to Pestigors and Pox Riders getting to them. And yeah, these Griffin Legion continues to run away and continues to get dragged down with nothing to bail them out. But I guess these guys, this one time, managed to get a good charge. But yeah, this unit, at the beginning of the chase, they had like 75% HP. But now they're down to half and they're still running away. They should have just turned around and fight, man. They should have just turned around and fight. Let the Kislev warriors help them out to finish off these Pox Riders. But yeah, they're now down to less than half health without doing any damage in the process. And they're still running! No! No, why are you running? And the Kislev warriors are just ignoring them and just walking away. No! Stop running! Stand there and fight! You're a Kislevite! You die in a fair fight. You don't die with your back towards your enemy. No! Anyways, the Druzina fighting the Chaos Sorcerer Lord now. Well, it looks like he is taking more damage as time goes by. And yeah, he was losing that fight. Yeah, and then I think this is the tide has turned and Nurgle managed to win that one. Angels kill Calf, that too for sure. Just sitting back there using their Death's Head to their advantage without any way to shut them down from the Kislevite side. I guess they could have tried targeting them with the double Grom. That would have been a good call as well, I guess, but yeah. The Spirit Leech, the throwing axes, and just the Pox Riders chasing after the retreating Griffin Legion who were not fighting back. There was just so much free damage value given to the Nurgle army. And it's quite unfortunate to the Kislevites. And also the 2,200 gold worth of damage value on these guys. Holy shit. Dragging down a bunch of Little Grom and the Griffin Legion, I assume. Very solid value, and the Griffin Legion spending most of their time running away from the Pox Riders instead of fighting, meaning that even if one of them earned back their value, the other two had two earned back their value. One of them had very limited contribution. And yeah, that's it for today's battle. I hope you all enjoy this tournament, and thank you so much for joining me for this tournament, whether you've been playing in the tournament yourself or visiting the stream and checking out the multiplayer action. And yeah, I think I'll be hosting a meme tournament next week. The idea is everyone has to bring 5 regiments of renown, and certain factions with less regiments of renown can have alternatives to actual regiments of renown, but rules will be announced later. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining me for today's tournament for now. Congratulations to Somir for the dominating win with his High Elf army. I think we didn't have a lot of High Elf games cast today. Yeah, I don't think they sent in their High Elf game. So unfortunately, we don't get to see much of the High Elf action, like 2-3 of those battles I think we've seen. But yeah, missing out on a good chunk of the High Elf action, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I basically just cast whatever I can find. For now, that is all for today. Hope you all enjoyed today's tourney. And we'll see everyone in next week's tourney. I think after next week, I'll be going on a break for a couple of weeks because I have like a minor surgery to deal with, so probably not in a good shape to cast. But for now, that's gonna be it for today, and yeah, we'll see you all next next week. Yeah. Have a good rest of the week and enjoy the night. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Tactical Lich signing out.